Last podcast on the left is all about the facts. So when Southern New Hampshire University came on as a sponsor, it was time to do some research. Turns out they offer more than 200 online degree programs, and get this, criminal justice and psychology are some of the most popular. Classes have no set meeting times, and tuition rates are some of the lowest in the U.S. Want to learn even more about SNHU? Visit snhu.edu/last.
Courage. I learned it from my adoptive mom. Hold my hand?
You hold my hand.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left.
From your grave.
That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
All right, boys. You know, are we recording? I'm doing this? Oh, man.
Wow.
Boys.
Wow.
Big stuff.
Yes.
So today's episode is a classic example of having to go through Marcus's mind.
Great.
In order
I'm
to
excited.
get to what the rest of us like.
I got my raincoat on.
Yes, please do.
I got my nice shoes.
No, you wearing your nice shoes?
The nice shoes
I don't
for
wear
Marcus's
my
mind.
J's in Marcus's mind.
No, they're two cut up avocados.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just talking about just feet coverings that you're calling shoes.
For Marcus's brain.
Yes.
Thank you. I would recommend sturdy shoes.
I would as well.
It's quite rocky. Craggy. It's craggy in there.
Yeah, craggy. I think it would be wet, to be honest.
Wet and craggy.
Yeah.
It's like the coast of Iceland.
Either way, I hope your fucking mind cloaca is ready for a bunch of 100-year wars data, because we got to get through it to get to the good stuff.
It's not getting through it. It's getting to talk about it.
How much are we going to talk about shovel? Are we talking about
shovels, except for shovels that are used inside of little girls.
Oh my
It's a long
goodness.
story.
All right. Welcome to the last podcast on the left, everyone. Ben hanging out with Henry and Marcus. Today's episode, I think this is fantastic because we're getting back to our French roots.
Oh yeah, we've always said we began French.
I love the French. Currently going through a bit of upheaval.
They're always going through a bit of an upheaval.
Let's get into
that is France's national identity.
Let's get into some upheaval of the past. Gilles de Rais. That's who we're talking about today.
You did a good job.
Thank
the
you.
French version of George. I'm not sure. But Marcus also did good in the entire outline where he wrote out phonetically the French.
I see that.
Every single French name, every single French location, it has all been written phonetically so as to not gain the ire of the people who care how I speak French.
Absolutely.
Interesting. And of course, he did spell out the words Gerard Depardieu, Groper, for groper.
That's really good. That is really,
He's a bit
really
of a
good.
groper.
And a bit of a tinkler.
But for all of you guys,
I don't want to know what that means.
he pissed in an airplane. We all
Is
know.
that right?
He pissed himself on an airplane after drinking too much red wine.
At least he wasn't sober.
But those are for all of you clamoring for blood. It's coming.
It's
All
coming.
right.
Gilles de Rais was a 15th century French medieval nobleman who reputedly tortured, raped, and murdered hundreds of children in some of the most brutal ways imaginable in the castles on his many estates.
And that's the only way to do it. As far as I'm concerned, is that the only way it's kind of appropriate is if you have many, many castles and many, many estates.
I thought you were
Right.
talking about the way in which he murdered. It's like you really don't want to do it tenderly. You want to make sure you do it brutally.
Brutally.
No, he was talking about the real estate angle of all this, and that's what we really want to get into. These prices.
Well, Gilles is a story reminiscent of the Game of Thrones books, one of decadence, palace intrigue, backstabbing, wide-scale slaughter, plagues, heroes, martyrs, murders, and black magic.
Yeah, dude.
I thought you were going to say, and boobs.
Oh,
There are actually boobs here. Yeah.
boobs come up.
Yeah, adult boobs. Okay, teenage boobs.
Well, with inflation, they're adult boobs.
French roots. That's what this entire episode is about, is our French roots.
Yeah. Now, Gilles de Rais has been said by some to be the basis of the Bluebeard fairy tale, which first appeared in written form in Charles Perrault's 1697 story collection called Tales of Mother Goose.
It was a heavy story for Mother Goose.
Yeah.
Absolutely a heavy story for Mother Goose, and you try to tell your wife that you weren't eating out a Smurf, you come home with a Bluebeard.
That's funny. Again, funny stuff.
That's funny
or you're
stuff.
addicted to silver nitrate.
Yeah, colloidal silver. Now, this, of course, is where we also get the modern versions of Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, and Little Red Riding Hood. Mother Goose sanitized these versions for children so as to avoid scenes such as the one in the original tale where Little Red Riding Hood does a striptease for the wolf as a last resort.
I mean, that's my play.
Yeah.
If I'm trapped in a room with a wild wolf, like a snarling dog, it's always important to get good and naked so that wolf looks at you, I think, and understands for a second, that's an animal too.
Yes, indeed.
And if you get hard at it, they back down.
Absolutely correct, Henry. And don't forget the new Pixar movie, Little Red Riding Hood, about the talking clitoris that could.
Wow.
I'm on
Save
fire
some of this
today.
stuff. Save.
I am so hungover for my own stupidity.
No, in that version of the story, it doesn't work. The striptease doesn't work, and the wolf eats everything except for her arms.
Cool.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well, all these stories come with a moral, and the moral of that one is trying to discourage women from sex work. If you try to strip your way in front of the wolf will eventually eat you.
Well, I think that actually is an important lesson to learn just because the wolf will eat you. But at the same time, be naked when you're dead. I think that's important. Die naked. Go for it. Shoot for it.
I agree.
Now, the Mother Goose version of Bluebeard is actually no less violent than the original version of Little Red Riding Hood. In that version, a nobleman with a hideous blue beard attempts to murder his newlywed wife for disobeying his orders to not look in one particular closet while he's away on business.
Very John Wayne Gacy of him.
It is.
Mm-hmm. She, of course, looks and finds that the closet is full of the corpses of Bluebeard's previous wives, who had all been killed for looking into the closet full of corpses of previous wives who had also looked into the closet.
It's just a constant vicious cycle.
What's the moral here?
Don't look in rooms.
Okay.
But just as Bluebeard is about to decapitate his latest wife, her brothers appear and save her, and she thereafter remarries to a kinder man and lives happily ever after.
Not one of the brothers.
No.
Fantastic.
But the interesting thing...
No.
These stories, honestly,
story.
they can take weird turns.
They really
Oh,
can.
very much so. And then, she gets double teamed by all of her brothers. I guess quadruple teamed by her entire family. And then all of a sudden, like, what book is this? Mother Who's?
Absolutely. And it's like, you're going to go to Grandma's house today. Hi, I'm Grandma. I'm also your mom.
I don't understand.
Fire.
That one I don't understand. That one I'm
Because
lost
she
on,
would
but
be the grandmother and the mother if she was tag teamed by her own brothers.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what? Yeah, that does make the incense
Wouldn't she
smack
also
work
be
out.
the
Yeah.
aunt?
Yeah. No, I follow you.
As soon as you're coming in a family member, just call her aunt.
But the interesting thing about Bluebeard in relation to our man Gilles de Rais is that Gilles never murdered a wife, nor did he have a blue beard. While Gilles is often referred to as Bluebeard in modern times, to the point where both of our main sources for this series have Bluebeard in the title,
The stories have nothing to do with each other.
there's no historical basis for Gilles de Rais being related to Bluebeard. More likely, Bluebeard was based on a Dark Ages ruler named Connemar the Cursed.
Yeah, that's fucking sweet.
That is cool.
And this is where history's cool.
Yeah.
Because you guys find these guys, like, he's a literal guy who took the nickname the Cursed. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be, like, truly very difficult man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Connemar the Cursed roamed the forests of Brittany as a werewolf after death, and later served as a spectral ferryman for the Breton River, where he absconded with Christian souls.
Whoa,
What do you
that's
think,
cool.
like, in a game of telephone of history, what do you think people would say about us and what we are like and what do we do in an allegorical sense?
Henry the Pork Dweller.
Oh, pork dweller.
Yes.
Well, one possible explanation for Gilles de Rais' connection to Bluebeard is that both he and Connemar the Cursed were from Breton, and over the years, the name Bluebeard may have just become a byword for any cruel French nobleman who delighted in the murder of innocents.
Also, I think the one similarity is, as we'll go through all of the many accounts of what the actual quote-unquote crimes of Gilles de Rais, which we will cover all angles of it, but I think the concept that he had bodies hidden in his home.
Yeah.
I think that is the one direct connection.
Had a lot of bodies hidden in his home. And there were a lot of bodies around where he was.
Right.
Wherever Gilles de Rais was, you would find a lot of bodies of dead children stuffed into pipes, burnt in, gigantic piles, funeral pyres.
Hey, this just sounds like a coincidence to me.
It does seem like he has he has an unusual amount of child corpses or surrounding him.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like you don't really want to be Bill Clinton's best friend.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
They die.
Now, we actually have no idea when Gilles de Rais began murdering the peasant children that he either kidnapped or bought from their parents. But during his trial, he was accused of spending the previous 14 years of doing so. He did, however, correct the court, saying that he'd actually only been murdering for 8 years.
See, that's how
Oh
you
my
know
God.
he's a murderer. When he has to do the thing where he's like, actually, about his own series of a generation of child rape.
He's a nerd.
Yes.
Wow. He's like, yeah, if you take a look at my Reddit profile, I think you'll know I started murdering 8 years ago.
Look at how many times I've gotten gold for murdering children.
Come back. Attack me. Why can't I be like you?
But to that point, we also have no idea how many murders Gilles de Rais actually committed. At the low end, estimates put his body count at around 140.
Dang, that's the low end?
That's the low end. The more
Okay.
sensational accusations have Gilles murdering almost 1,000 children.
I mean, at that point, though, how are you doing anything else?
Yes,
If
seriously.
it's thousands of children now, we're like, okay, all right, buddy. That's literally overkill.
Did he hold down a job this whole time?
he was a bit of a gadabout. During some of this time, he did have a job as a soldier, which we'll get into, but he was a nobleman. Their entire lives were based around decadence and showing how decadent they really could be. He was also a theatrical producer for a little while.
Ooh.
We'll get
And
to
a
that.
wizard. Yeah, he had a lot of different hobbies.
Wow, a
He did.
wizard.
Hobby. Yeah, it's vanity hobbies. So yeah, that you could describe as serial killing as a vanity hobby.
Ooh, I
He
wonder how
was-
many people Russell Brand has killed.
Okay, just wait a year until that becomes a marketable thing that he can say on his podcast.
Well, what we know from testimony during Gilles' trial, however, is that the sheer number of victims and the freedom he exercised in their killing, it allowed for an escalation of cruelty and gruesome experimentation not seen outside of Dennis Rader's wildest fantasies.
Because again, Dennis Rader didn't have the institutional family money it would take to make these giant fantasies come true.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
really what it comes down to. It's about investing your money correctly. That's
Yeah.
why we here at Robin Hood Investments really think that if you want to build up your opportunities for
Right.
child murderer by thinking about tomorrow today.
Integrated marketing complete. Good job.
They don't even cover us. They dropped us years ago. Oh, did they? Yeah.
Yeah, they did. But I mean, with
Robin
Dennis,
Hood's a scam anyway.
Yeah, fuck those pieces of fucking shit.
Also,
Unless they're
Robin Hood
back.
stole from the rich and gave to the poor. But like Robin Hood, that means they're going to take all my money and then give it to someone else. Mean.
On fire today.
On fire.
fire. But I mean, to the point of Dennis Rader, when Dennis Rader was a child and when he was an adult, he would draw these elaborate like pee-pee dungeons.
Yes.
And like, when he would, draw these huge,
started with
silos where trains would come and like run over women, but slowly.
Leonard Lake and Charles Ng, they did the same thing. The giant descriptions of massive torture castles
Yeah.
and like in underground bunkers filled with rape rooms.
Gilles de Rais did that. Like he made all of that a reality. Now, but of course, there's also debate as to how much of that is true.
Yeah.
Did any of that really happen? I mean, of course, all of this is well documented. His trial was well documented. Where they found the bodies was well documented. And that's the thing, is that this story, this is not some Dark Ages tale. This is not rumor or legend. Our story occurred during the 100 Years' War. It heavily involves none other than Joan of Arc.
Yeah, she shows up, and I gotta say, terrible haircut, great attitude.
Absolutely legendary.
But if all the tales of de Rais' savagery were invented solely for the trial, then it would not be a stretch to say that 15th century France was home to some of the most imaginative gorehounds this side of Herschel Gordon Lewis.
It's
Seriously.
almost like there was a 100-year war that they lived through.
It was like they saw a lot of blood.
Yeah.
They saw a lot of violence personally. Just the people of France saw a lot of shit. And that would continue for a very long time. It feels like, because again, this came from, it was like plague, 100 Years' War. All of this stuff is all happening all at the same time. So it was a very violent time period. And Gilles de Rais, that's why we don't know whether or not people are spinning fantasies out to do a political hit, which we'll kind of discover. We'll talk about the basis of eventually. Or is it just because guys like Gilles de Rais came about and kind of utilized a world of mass violence and kind of lived amongst it in a way that was they were ready for and loved and embraced.
Seems like Mr. Gilles de Rais needs to have a one-on-one interview with Oprah and really clear the air.
Yeah, I mean, that would be incredible. Yeah, Gilles de Rais with his 15-year-old Joan of Arc just seeing visions next to Oprah. They're 15 feet apart, COVID. And it's so nice that they're in the middle of her giant bunker and they got drones in and out. But again, they don't really want attention, but they have a lot of cameras there at the same time.
But before we get into the whole story, let's acknowledge our sources. For this 3, maybe 4-part historical extravaganza.
Yeah, they recovered a lot of ground in this show.
Yeah. We have Gilles de Rais, a biography of Bluebeard by Jean Benedetti, and Bluebeard by Leonard Wolfe. And don't worry, all ye well-actuallys out there, we will get to the Gilles de Rais' innocent rebuttal at the end of the series.
Yes, we will.
Now, as opposed to the dark ages of Connemore the Cursed...
Yes. Oh, no. I won the lottery, but I lost the ticket. Damn this nickname.
Gilles de Rais was a Middle Ages nobleman who lived through and fought in the third phase of the 100 Years' War against England and the hated Burgundians of France.
I hate you, Burgundians.
Oh, absolutely. The way that they are just constantly throwing rotten fruit at you. I hate a Burgundian.
Because you know what's bad about stinky old fruit? Ain't wine yet. Bring it to me when it's wine, please.
But of course, here at Burgundians, kids under 8 eat free. So don't worry about it. Also, if you have the gout, half off.
Half off.
Here at Burgundians.
Well, by the time Gilles de Rais was born, the 100 Years' War had already been ebbing and flowing for 67 years.
Oh, it's only 67%. It's 67% done, and you only got 33% left.
A little less than 67%, actually, because it actually lasted for 116 years.
What the living fuck?
Yeah,
why is we not doing a whole episode about that?
The 116-year war doesn't really sound good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dumb.
It's dumb. That's dumb. 100 years? That's perfect.
Well, it was 3 phases. It had kind of been kept alive through squabbles between France and England, and sometimes between France and France.
But France wasn't France. France was half England.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that.
Oh, man. I don't understand.
I'm excited.
This is one of these wars that, like, that's why I was like, with Marcus, as we were doing the production call, I was like, this week, it's all about you explaining to me and Kissel what is happening.
Well, I think I've done a passable job.
All right. Let's get into it.
But as it goes during warfare, both medieval and modern, and as it went with the victims of Gilles de Rais, those who bore the brunt of the violence and horror in the 100 Years' War were the people caught in between.
Yeah, man. It's always the turkey in the sandwich. It gets the teeth.
Absolutely. That's a fantastic saying. I like it.
It really is.
Yeah,
Really
just made
good.
it up.
Yeah.
That's I hope you did.
Yeah.
Because if you stole that from someone.
Yeah, I stole it from a very stupid man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the armies of both sides of the 100 Years' War regularly turned the French countryside into a blood-soaked, plague-ridden horror show of desolation and death, filled with rotting cattle and deserted villages populated only by the skeletons of the people who once lived there.
The only skeletons live here, man. It's like Williamsburg in New York. Yeah.
It does sound like that. All right. Really fun. Did they ever think about picking up the skeletons and maybe moving them?
Why?
Because you want to build a house or
No,
something.
because all that's going to happen is next day, the French just push through. Next day, British are going to push through. You're just going to have to fucking pick up skeletons. That's why I don't make the bed.
I see. This is like when you know you're going to start a bender on Friday, so you're like, fuck it, I won't clean my house till Sunday.
Because what's the point? I'm just going to tear this in a fucking self-hatred-filled rage just again and again and again. Why clean?
Got you.
And if I'm going to go on a bender on Friday, why do I really need to put in effort on Thursday? And then if Thursday really isn't going to be a big deal, then Wednesday might as well be out the window either.
Yeah, what the fuck am I doing Wednesday? Well, Wednesday, if I don't give a shit, Tuesday. Lucky you don't even get me out of bed for less than $10,000.
Yeah. You guys are making really valid points here.
But the armies were only the half of it. Peasants also had to contend with the mercenaries, the land pirates, the free knights, all of whom plundered villages for food, supplies, and kidnappings.
Land pirates just sound like they're in ship formation, but they're too poor to have a ship.
Keep going, get those oars going, boys. They're just like stuck in grass.
Captain, should we find water, please?
Are you to the plank with you? And it just jumps 6 feet to the ground.
Well, kidnappings and pillaging, that was how most of these men, including the official French soldiers, that's how they derived their pay.
Yeah.
In fact, it was considered respectable for a professional soldier to hold people for ransom to fill their pockets.
This isn't a reminder to the audience of when we're in this period of time where we're a little bit more self-conscious than we would have been in the past about, like, and have this knowledge. So we're always like, end of the world is happening right now, when it's actually the world used to be like way more dangerous. This concept of like weaponizing looting, because I use that Civ 6
yeah.
is extremely important when you're doing a domination run, right? Because you got to get those guys in there. You get cavalry in there going really fast. They rip up all the natural resources, so you cripple them supply-wise. Then you gape them from the back. You come from back. They don't even fucking expect. All of a sudden, siege towers were on the fucking unoccupied lands around them, and they had no fucking clue that you were coming until it was too late.
If you went back in time and just told Gilles de Rais that story, but didn't say that you learned all that through a video game, you could have become a general.
I would have been a general. And that's how I view this. All this, I'm like, yes. Every single time I read about medieval like war strategy, I'm like, yes, very good. I did use that in the campaign of 2019.
When I went to the torture museum in when we were in Italy, the one that you stand up and they shut the door and it's got a bunch of spikes in it. I was too tall
for the Iron Maiden.
Yeah, I think they wouldn't have done that to me.
They would have beat you to death. I think they would have stabbed you with a bunch of swords. I went to one Italian torture museum that was fucking awful. I was just in this room, and then this slat opened up, and it was just this guy eating delicious spaghetti on the other side.
And you couldn't get to it.
And I couldn't get, even though I kept slamming my face and getting and like rubbing up against it.
You went to an Italian jerk-off theater. An Italian jerk-off booth where you just watch
it's a paper boat.
Someone
It's
eat.
a paper boat.
Yes.
Rise from your grave.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform that helps you stand out online. Yes, that's right. You don't have to smash your face with a hammer. You can just start a business. It's got everything you need on Squarespace, from securing your domain to building a professional site and showcasing your work all in one place. Let's say you want to show everybody how you can carve your ribs out of your lower abdomen so that you look more like a Ken doll. That's amazing. You can bring your vision to life with AI-powered design or curated templates, plus flexible editing tools that helps you create something that truly reflects your style, especially if you are somebody that is trying to corrupt the young men of America. That's what Squarespace is really going to help you. Squarespace makes it easy. It makes it easy for you to put all that together, and you just go to Squarespace and do it all. Thanks, Braden. Head to squarespace.com/left for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code LEFT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Summer means freedom. And for adults, summer means work next to freedom. But thanks to Mint Mobile's summer sale, it can almost feel like the work is playtime for the adults. Right now, all of Mint's plans are $15 per month, even unlimited. Free yourself from big wireless and switch to Mint Mobile for high-speed data and coverage on the T-Mobile 5G network. It's so well connected, I could call from anywhere. Deep from well within my bunker, where my AI-fueled robots slowly but surely toil for me, but I know for a fact I'm saving money on my phone plan. Or up above, where I'm training all of my giant Amazon female warriors who will fight in bulletproof mesh. Also, honestly, Mint Mobile's really cheap and it's really reliable, so you should use it. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/LPOTL. That's mintmobile.com/LPOTL. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/LPOTL. That's it. There's no catch. Upfront payment of $45 per 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12 months. Plan required, $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. Includes up to 20 gigabyte hotspot. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com.
And the reason why life was so chaotic, this could all be traced back to what else but the Black Plague. It had killed a third of the population of France between 1347 and 1352. And when you combine that with the body count in the 100 Years' War, it's estimated that France lost half of its population in the 14th century.
Dang.
That is to say, the central government of France hadn't even come close to recovering by the time Gilles de Rais was born. By the time of Gilles de Rais, France was more of a collection of individual leaders who levied their own taxes, coined their own currency, and enforced their own laws.
Isn't that also kind of what happened in Italy?
I have no idea.
We'll get on to that.
I'm not going to say yes nor no.
I don't know
I have
either.
not studied Italy. I don't even know what time period you're talking about.
Italy is shaped like a boot.
That's where I'm at right now. Italy is shaped like a boot, and France is shaped like a butt that's sitting down.
Oh.
The way I could kind of describe it is that imagine if all 50 states were their own small, if states' rights were taken to their extreme,
Sure.
and America was just a loose confederacy, and every time we went to war, the president would have to go to every single state and beg them to join in on the war and often pay them to do so.
Yes.
Oh, you can get someone to go to war so easy nowadays. It's almost too easy.
I mean, but the guys that are volunteering real hard, too easily, you don't want them. That's the problem.
That is the problem.
A lot of them are just human body shields because they're just 250 pounds of fucking Applebee's batter with a bunch of AR-15s that they bought from the tour web, and now they're just kind of spotting them up. I heard they're very easy to use.
They are easy to use, and the new ads for the army are hilarious because they recognize how fat and lazy we all are.
Yeah.
And they're literally just like, you like to play video games, right? Ever want to fucking kill somebody? Yeah.
Well,
you're in.
Well, in France, there was a king. Yes, kind of. But France was by no means unified, and marauding bands of brigands pillaged, raped, and stole their way across the country without fear of reprimand because the nobles cared very little for the peasants, even though that was supposed to be their whole fucking point, was to protect the people.
Yeah, but it also seems like the nobles sort of kind of understood, if we get in the way in the armies, they'll kill us too.
Right.
And so they probably just go they're just in their castles just going looks bad out there.
Right.
Watching shit happen. Ooh, don't do that. Ooh.
Well, likewise, the military commanders of France at this time, who answered more to the nobles who paid them than to the king at court, they were no better than bandits. And in fact, Gilles de Rais is one of those noblemen. He was no more, no less brutal than his contemporaries on the battlefield.
He truly was a man of his times.
Mm-hmm. For French nobles, the point of war was not service to God or country, but rather the collection of more wealth, more land, and more everything.
Well,
And more bones.
More bones. And it's because it's destabilized, right? So they all are kind of acting as if they are their own mini kingdom. So everybody is taking whatever resources that aren't nailed down to kind of protect themselves from each other.
I mean, that's a very generous way of looking at it.
I'm saying as a man who is, again, led many campaigns in medieval Europe, I understand why one would do as such.
And as a man who sees very much the parallels between this and, say, modern times, that it seems like a bunch of assholes in gigantic castles hoarding wealth like a bunch of fucking dragons for no reason other than that they have a mental illness that fucking makes them collect wealth above all and fuck the people.
That is more of an ungenerous view of the same circumstances.
Italy. Isn't it shaped like a boot? Isn't it, though?
I won't tell you you're wrong.
Like a
I
boot?
won't tell you you're wrong.
Yes.
I mean, this was all in service of a pointless decadence that would lead straight to the guillotine a couple of centuries later in the French Revolution for these fucking useless noblemen.
Guillotine.
But back in the 15th century, this meaningless indulgence at the top seemed to encourage the base instincts of the soldiers on the ground. Here, in my best Dan Carlin history voice,
Yeah, he's going to be good.
is a description of the horrors that a peasant in the 15th century had to look forward to when soldiers were spotted on the horizon.
Now, we will need some light sort of History Channel filler when we in post. Well, it's something that really fill this out.
Something real nice.
Absolutely not. When Dan Carlin speaks, Dan Carlin speaks into silence because the words must be appreciated.
I thought Dan Carlin didn't talk for 5 years and then talked a lot. And then didn't talk
It
again
seems
for
like it's
5
more the
years.
opposite, that he's talking a little bit over those 5 years, one day at a time.
Yeah.
We'll say one sentence into a microphone and go, sheesh, work done for the day. And then just go back. He's living a charmed life. I love him.
He's living a wonderful life.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. They took women and children without difference of age or sex, raping the women and girls. They killed the husbands and father in the presence of their wives and daughters. They took nurses and left the children behind so that they died for want of food.
So good, Marcus.
Thank you. They took pregnant women and chained them so that they gave birth in chains. The children were allowed to die without baptism, and the mother and child were thrown into the river. They took priests and monks, chained them up in various ways, and beat them so that they were maimed for life and driven out of their minds.
It's the drop. You do the drop.
Some were roasted alive, others had their teeth ripped out, others were beaten with huge sticks, and none were freed until they have given far more money than they could afford. Now that doesn't sound like a very good time now, does it?
That's great.
Wow, no, it doesn't, Dan.
that is the most obscure, on the money, deep cut podcast reference that's around.
Really, really well
great.
done.
Thank you very much.
Really
he's,
well done.
He's my hero. What
He's
can I
so
say?
great.
I mean, it's yeah, you know. That's
This is
how
my
it goes.
impression of Dan Carlin doing an impression of Marcus Parks.
Oh yeah, no, he is at home right now going like, no,
I don't think I sound like that.
making fun. I don't think I sound like that.
Dan, the lasagna is ready. And I told you, if you talk in your radio voice at dinner one more time, we're getting a divorce.
Honey, I told you. I wish it was different.
But when it came to contemporary medieval accounts of what was actually happening in France, let's hear a section from a medieval text read by Henry Zabrowski.
The countryside is desecrated, and shepherds are slaughtered. There in the dung, without a bed, with the dead sleeping, one on top of the other, in piles. Many noble shepherdesses were left alone, without their lovers. So many heads cut off, so many feet, fists, so many arms without hands. It's
Wow.
kind of a lot. It's a lot.
Sounds like a lot.
I think there was never so much as a shedding of human blood, nor a slaughter more cruel. Not since Tuesday.
Not since Tuesday. So did you feminize the word shepherd to shepherdess?
They say shepherdesses. Yeah.
Is that right? I never
know
heard
it's a
of that
direct
before.
translation from the French, which is probably something more
Yeah.
like
Interesting.
No, it's shepherds and shepherdesses.
I didn't know there was a female version of the shepherd. I thought they were all shepherds.
back in the day, gender wasn't as complex as it is now.
Oh, is that right?
And so, yeah, back in the day, some shepherds, they had ding-dongs. But other shepherdesses, they had woohoos.
Little Red Riding Hoods.
Now, this savagery was of no concern to the nobility of France. During the 15th century, every castle, as Henry said, was its own little kingdom. Every castle had its own little private army.
It's cool.
And there in the castle, the nobility ate lavishly while the peasants starved.
It's got to be on the right side of that lance.
What kind of animals would you put in your moat?
I want alligators, definitely.
Enemy alligators. Yeah, that'd be good. Hippos, if I could get them.
Hippos would be great. Beavers, they build their own walls. They're working for you.
Yeah,
No.
but now I'm the one. I need control of the walls.
No. The beavers, they build the walls across the river. They would actually not
Ruin
be
the moat.
Yeah, they would ruin the moat.
They'd fuck up the moat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just treat a ditch, which
I'll
is still useful,
I'll
but
train
not as
cats
good.
to swim.
I actually kind of just want to put dudes in the moat.
That would be great.
Do you remember the lady I showed on the
Yeah.
stream
Yeah.
who
The
lived in
lady
the
in the
lake?
water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that lady. What if it's those guys, but it's dudes, but they got guns?
Mhm.
Awesome. Perfect. Dudes with guns.
And if you want to see that, of course, patreon.com/lastpodcast on the left. We do the stream every Tuesday live
That's-
at 8 p.m. PST.
Integrated marketing.
Integrated marketing.
Nice.
Well, the measure of a successful noble was not in the morale of his people or even necessarily in how adept he was in battle. Rather, when it came to the respect of his fellow nobles, it was all in how decadent and luxurious the life of that noble could appear to be.
It's kind of like Instagram. It's this kind of,
Why?
It's like Instagram.
Why is it like Instagram?
Because you're seeing everybody else's highlight reel. We're not really seeing who they are as a person.
That is true. Good
but
point.
but the nobles, it is. I feel like it's the concept of constantly trying to separate themselves from the hoi polloi, and like we're chosen to be this role, so we kind of live this extravagant life because it's what we were chosen to do for you to look up to us aspirationally.
Yeah. And it's also about competing with the other nobles. Like, again, if you want to compare it to today, it's like, you got a big boat? Fuck you. I got a big boat inside my big boat.
Wow.
And my big boat inside my big boat also has caviar.
The turducken of boats. Also, Hoi Polloi, a fantastic strip club where all the girls look like bobbers.
What's bobbers?
What's a bobber?
Fishing bobbers.
Wow, weird. That's surreal. That is literally like
they're toy polloi. They're going to be round.
I just don't
Toy
understand.
polloi with the girls that look like they're round.
So you're saying that
It's a round.
That doesn't even make sense because lures are like skinny.
No,
they look like
bobbers.
worms.
No, bobbers. He could have
Then we
just as
move on.
easily said beach balls. He could have said basketballs. He could have said any other kind of ball.
That was interesting. That was like
Because
that was
they're also
I
wet.
wanted to bring you to my Jungian therapist and have you say the same sentence. It just
They're wet. That's why I said bobbers.
Well, as author Jean Benedetti put it so succinctly, French society was like a man who, finding the world hostile, retired to his gilded chamber to masturbate.
Oh, you're talking about me in 2020.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, of course, some nobles took this decadence to violent extremes that none of the others dared dream of. And that brings us to Gilles de Rais.
Ooh, setting the tone, setting the scene. Now we're meeting the man, and I don't know what he sounds like yet.
Gilles de Rais was born in the year 1404, appropriately in the Black Tower of his family castle at Champotzay.
Nice.
Wow,
Very
cool.
good.
Yeah, thank you. De Rais was born to two nobles named Gilles Leval and Marie de Craon as a result of a complicated legal dispute over property between noble families that is far too complicated to go into here.
Okay.
Some would say boring.
Yeah. All right.
All you need to know is that by the end of it, Gilles de Rais was the sole heir to his first of 3 massive fortunes.
Dang.
And he's exactly as you imagined the sole heir of many medieval fortunes would be as.
Yeah. Gilles was therefore raised by servants in what was referred to as, quote, the cocoon of luxury, a little prince who had little to no experience with what the world was like outside of his pampered existence.
I don't understand. Why is my milk warm?
It's more Melania Trump.
I don't understand. Why is no one praising me yet today?
I think it's good. I mean, we'll work on it. This is a 4-part series.
I'm bouncing.
No, I know. You're working.
This is Baby Gilles.
Baby Gilles, of course.
Okay.
Baby Gilles.
That's good. Okay, we're getting there.
I'm just a little baby.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, now we're getting there.
Give me the
Yeah, you want my teeth? Yeah, you want my teeth? I've been a man this whole time, buddy.
I know.
Well, it was said that Gilles was to sleep in an airy but not windy room looking out to the east so that he might be gently awoken by the sun.
Hello,
each
Mr.
morning.
Sun. Are you the one with the titty?
No, that is Spanish.
Hello, Mr. Sun.
That's not.
It's closer.
Is it?
As long
Hello,
as,
Mr. Sun.
as long as it's not Jamaican, I'm happy.
Hey,
Oh, God.
now you should wait.
Well, it was ordered that he be bathed often, but not too often, lest his skin be softened.
Hey, man, you need that
Oh,
skin.
my.
You need the skin just leathery enough to be a man about a horse, but you also need to be soft enough to be touched by a fine maiden, which is the line I ride.
Absolutely.
Feel these hands.
We all have very
Sweaty.
soft hands.
They're very sweaty.
It's hot in here.
Actually, my hands are quite rough.
Well, they've softened since you've been off the field.
Well, he ate consommes of veal, beef, and partridge, but did not eat fish because it was said to make children too calm.
Too calm.
Oh, yes.
So they wanted him all wild?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Oh.
listen to the drinks they gave him. He consumed the standard noble child's beverage, which was 5 parts boiled sugar water and 1 part French wine.
Man, that's cool.
Whoa, so they were getting hammered.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
the
what
wine didn't get you drunk like it used to, I don't think.
I think it must have.
Well, I think back in the day, I don't think wine and beer and all that was quite as strong as it is. It's not like an
You don't think
IPA
so?
or anything. No.
No, he's not a total douchebag. He's not drinking IPAs. But that's save it for Old and McNeely. But why wouldn't the wine be any? I feel like it's still the same thing.
I might
You
be
know?
talking on my ass. I think it's because they just drank it more regularly. That's what I would say, because they drank it because it was better than a lot of the water than most of the time.
Yeah, they didn't. They drank beer more than they drank water, or at least that's what the commercials told me.
I love that one. Yeah, that was nice when friends used to call friends on rotary phones.
No, I remember.
Well, concerning Gilles' behavior, he was also unpredictable, physically aggressive, and destructive.
Yeah, because he's fucking sugar high and drunk on wine.
He is, what's his name, Lord Farquaad from
Yeah.
Trek.
It soon became apparent to everyone that they were raising a psychopathic monster with no boundaries, and if anyone tried punishing him, they themselves would be punished even more harshly.
Are we
That's
back on
fun.
our? Are we on our David Miscavige series still?
No? No. We're setting up for our future Baron Trump series.
However, it was also clear that Gilles de Rais was brilliant. And by the time he was an adult, he was considered one of the most well-educated men of his era. He was tutored in sciences, art, music, literature, and theater, of course, which we'll get to later.
Okay.
When Gilles was still a child, though, both of his parents died within the same year. His father, in a very Robert Baratheon-esque death, was gored by a wild boar while hunting, died slowly in bed.
I'm pretty certain he must have just taken that, because there are certain things he said characters were inspired by history, as he researched.
George R. R. Martin, you mean?
Yes, and that sounds like that is his death.
Yeah, that's absolutely Robert Baratheon's death, yeah.
Yeah, gored by a boar. That's kind of a fun way to go.
I mean, that's the thing, is that you eventually just have to sit in bed and then you shit yourself to death.
Yeah, you just shake until you die.
It doesn't eat you, huh?
No. It just gores you and then it runs away.
Yeah, it goes like, and then it leaves you just sit there, and then you are literally bored to death.
Wow. Then you just bleed out and shit, huh?
And his mother's cause of death, unknown.
Yeah, because it's not important.
Yeah, well,
women die so often then.
It's cold. Maybe she just had the flu.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, it said that she left after the father died and remarried. There's one record that says that she remarried, but then she died very soon after. His mother is very mysterious.
Can't you just die back in the day from a paper cut? It gets infected. You're screwed. They don't have penicillin or anything.
Oh,
yeah.
You get hit by a cart. You can get fucking
yeah.
chomped on by a horse. You can fucking get one of 5 different diseases we know to be the plague. You can die like that. You can die of just a bad milk.
Yeah, a horse could kill you like 7 different ways.
Awesome. Options are limitless.
What we do know is that after both parents were in the ground, Gilles had only one living relative besides his insignificant younger brother, who really only interacted with Gilles when Gilles became a theatrical producer in his 30s, and his brother wanted to direct.
That is a story as old as time.
I mean, this story, as you'll come to see, it's like, you'll see like Gilles de Rais is like a combination of like Harvey Weinstein, Ted Bundy, and Jared from Subway.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Top 3. My top 3.
Wow.
That's my dream blunt rotation.
So I've got a date with this guy, Gilles. He says he's Weinstein, Fogel, and Bundy all in one.
Ooh,
So
does he
pretty
have a brother? Yeah, but he's insignificant. He just wanted to play songs. He's Roger Clinton.
Oh, Roger Clinton.
Or Billy Carter.
I know Billy Bear.
Yeah. But when it came to possible legal guardians after the death of Gilles' parents, the most obvious yet worst choice was his mother's father, Jean de Craon. Everyone knew this was a bad idea because de Craon was described as little better than a bandit who had no regard for anyone but himself, nor did he follow the laws of God or man.
My favorite crayon was Silmarillion.
I was going to do my crayon joke, which was not to mention how much he scuffed up the floor.
Yeah.
So we are really...
You're really good today.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you ate them, your poop would be alarming.
It's a 1, 2, 3 punch.
Boom, boom.
Wow.
Content. Triple-headed tornado.
Comedy podcast.
Well, when Gilles de Rais' father was on his deathbed, he said, "Whatever you do not let Jean de Craon raise my son." These wishes were, of course, not met. And it's likely that de Crayon's influence led to Gilles de Rais' unfettered brutality.
Yeah, you never want your last words to be like, "No, why are you laughing? I was serious about why are you laughing?"
He was a bad guy.
Yeah, he was.
And then he trained Gilles from a very young age. He was the kind of the first example of like, he was the ultimate corrupt motherfucker to use the most dirty-handed tricks that were technically still like of like common use. Like people would use what he used, but mostly it was in bad taste.
Well, they would use them sparingly, and de Craon used them all the time. That was his only tool in his toolkit.
What's that one guy that trained Batman? Played by Liam Neeson.
That would be
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, Qui-Gon Jinn.
Ra's al Ghul.
Yes, kind of like that guy.
Kind
of like Jar Jar Binks.
Kind of like Jar Jar Binks. Just keep saying, just remember, Italy is like a boot. Just keep that on a rotation. This is good.
Well, Jean de Craon raised Gilles to believe that their family was above morality, just so long as it was to their benefit. The closest analog in Game of Thrones would be the Boltons, amoral, calmly savage, and ruthlessly ambitious. This would, of course, make Gilles Ramsay Bolton. Cruel, oddly charming in a serial killer sort of way, and reckless, but no less skilled in warfare.
Okay.
To that point, just as Jean de Craon was giving his grandson the worst possible moral compass one can give to a wealthy brat, Gilles de Rais was being trained for not just command, but battle.
Oh, yeah.
Jean de Craon must have really scuffed up the floors when he was walking around.
Crayon.
Yeah,
Mr. Crayon comes to 64.
Rise from your grave.
Is there anything better than a summer evening outdoors? Enjoy your space to the fullest with new greenery from Fast Growing Trees. I love a big, thick bush. Fast Growing Trees is America's largest, most trusted online nursery, and they can send me a big, thick bush any time of the day. It arrives at work. It arrives at my car. I can pinpoint on a Google map where it is. Send me a big, thick, brown bush. And they send it immediately when they have it, because sometimes the shaver comes to town. I remember one time I ordered a cherry wood tree from Fast Growing Trees. And my God, I couldn't cut it down, no matter what my father told me to do. I had to lie to him about it. And next thing you know, I became the first president of the United States of America. And even you can become the first president of the United States of America with Fast Growing Trees. Right now, get up to half off select summer planting essentials, plus get an additional 20% off your first purchase with code LEFT at checkout. That's an additional 20% off at fastgrowingtrees.com with code LEFT at checkout. Offer is valid for a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply. In the United States of America, there's a break-in every 26 seconds. That means somewhere, right now, an intruder is getting closer. The problem is most security systems only alert you after a break-in has already started. That's too late. Choose SimpliSafe to secure your home. Using the Outdoor Camera Series 2 and advanced AI alerts, SimpliSafe's US-based live agents identify threats on your property and help deter them, stopping crimes before it starts. That's real peace of mind. They've got a really great security system that makes sure people don't get in your house or it makes a big noise. And to me, that's a big deal for me, is that it protects all of our yelling with a siren in our studio, which is one of the most important things that can be protected. I don't care if thieves come and kidnap us. I don't care if marauders come and steal our staff and bring them to another country against their will. As long as our words aren't affected, as long as our precious data isn't affected. And SimpliSafe does that. And for that, I say, God bless you, SimpliSafe. God bless you. God bless you, SimpliSafe. God bless you. Experience greater peace of mind with SimpliSafe, now available with an exclusive discount for our listeners. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplysafe.com/LPOTL. That's half off at simplysafe.com/LPOTL. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
See, for all their pampering, some nobles did participate in on-the-ground warfare, and Gilles was a prime example. Starting at the age of 11, Gilles began training in 33 pounds of chainmail and a full set of plate armor. It's the sort of stuff that we think of when we think of a medieval knight today.
Yeah. You know that they are really not they are more mobile in that armor than you'd think they would be.
Yeah.
You've watched modern, like, armored fighting, right?
Yeah, it's really fun.
It's my favorite, because that's how I want to work out.
Yeah.
Like I said, I got too many hairs.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
For the chains.
Yeah,
the chainmail. I
You're
love
ripping at my fucking chest, because you know how thick my
Oh,
shit
yeah, but
is.
I don't even
it's
think
real
you can wear a watch.
No,
Yeah.
I can't. It hurts.
See, I use chainmail to clean my cast iron skillet. It's actually very good for it. It brings up all
What?
that. Yeah, I'll actually send it to you. You're going to love it.
You clean with the fucking most heavy metal sponge possible?
It's a heavy metal chainmail sponge. It's
Whoa.
fucking good. It works wonderfully.
It's just like you and Rob Halford.
Yeah. I have the sponge mommy and the sponge daddy gonna make them kiss.
Yeah, make them fuck.
Yeah. Then I got sponge baby.
Sponge baby.
But that's the thing, is that I really love the feel of chainmail, and I know I want to buy some chainmail, but I know if I bought it, I'd just wear it around the house all the time.
You're allowed to.
Yeah, you can do that. It's your house.
Yeah, you're married.
Yeah, I guess
Actually, it might be good. Good exercise.
Actually, it would be.
And just to have the general weight on your shoulders might be
You
nice.
know, it's so
Because you're not
difficult.
carrying Carolina at
No,
concerts
And
anymore.
honestly, getting, like, when Carol, obviously she'll want to divorce you when you do that, but it's hard as shit, dude.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, exactly. Being like, you will never get through these emotional armor that I'm wearing,
Yes.
and then she could try to serve your divorce papers while I have this metallic visor on.
Can't do
Yes,
it.
and then she can serve divorce papers when we're doing our panel at WonderCon.
Well, Ben, you mentioned shitting and how
Yes.
difficult shitting would be.
I did.
There was a whole protocol to that.
Whoa.
Well, I mean, for peeing, most of the time they just pissed themselves
Sure.
because it wasn't really worth it, and things are kind of dirty anyway.
Yeah,
so
you
who
already
cares?
reek.
Yeah, you already reek.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable, but you're going to be fine. Shitting, though, you can't have a big deuce back there. You're it's gonna
Unhealthy.
fuck with your
You can't
mobility.
fight
Oh, yeah,
with alongside the holy matron of France while you're sitting in a fucking puddle of diarrhea.
Yeah.
No,
So
no.
when they did need to take a dump, their squires would actually reach down and lift up their chainmail and would have to sit there as they squatted and let one drop.
It's like a lady on her wedding day.
Just so you know, and that actually brings that reminds me, we're starting an intern program here at LPN, and it's really going to help. Mostly, it's about spotting dookie pants.
Yes, indeed.
Whenever one of us has to go, because you can see when we scrunch up our face, the katana. That's how you know they run. They pull down our pants so we can free shit.
That's
It's
great.
going to be nice. College credits.
I feel like some would actually still drop into the chainmail, but
Yeah.
maybe you have to horse it out. You got to really push it out.
Yeah, horse it out.
Yeah, really got to splash out. A good distance from your body.
Yeah.
Oof.
Well, when it came,
I'm happy to be alive now. I hate Twitter and stuff, but like I'm fine.
Yeah, Twitter,
I
I'll
just
just
don't
not
look
look at
at
the
it.
phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. But when it came to weaponry, Gilles was trained with 10-foot lances ending in metal spearheads. He knew how to use swords, daggers, truncheons, axes.
Cool.
By the time he made his debut in public life in 1420, i.e. his first battle, Gilles was ready.
Man, Nepo babies suck now, dude. They don't have any skills.
No,
That's
they don't.
fucking cool. I would respect a lot more like kids, like trust fund kids, if they came out of it with full warfare, like medieval level
I mean,
training.
They knew how to use an
Nepo
axe.
babies have the ability to make us think that they are victims of being rich.
Yeah, I know, and that's
Which is
the
my
That's the
favorite
greatest
twist that I've
power
seen
of
so
all,
far.
Yeah, that's a good twist. But I would also like them to use axes. But not on me
No.
or on anybody innocent.
I know. Well, except at the same time, I like the news story. Whatever they do, I will read it and go, "Whoa!" Like I'll be
Yeah.
interested.
Oh, absolutely.
But no, it'd be bad. Yeah.
Absolutely. So he's 14 years old at this time.
He's in his early to mid-teens, somewhere around there. Yeah, I mean, he's about 13, 14, actually.
Show me the titty.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking Heath Ledger, A Knight's Tale.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm a nut, and everybody thinks I'm handsome. Right? Was he British in that?
I actually
I
we
think
just got written up in Men's Health, and they said that you were a comedian. If a comedy podcaster was made in the lab, they said that was you, and I agree
wow.
with them 100%.
I'm pretty certain the article was written by a bot.
No,
I think it was written by
I
robots.
think so, because it seems like it was like a list of podcasts that were popular like 5 years ago.
That's still
nonetheless. But I agree with that, and you're coming in today.
Show me the titty. Show me the titty.
All right,
I just keep
it holds up.
saying it.
AI has not
Hey,
been
man.
wrong yet.
It's
It's
not
not,
been wrong.
wrong now.
Not at all.
Hey,
Not at all.
it worked for Adam Sandler.
Well, Gilles participated in a successful campaign to resolve an unknown yet probably meaningless dispute between two noble families that resulted in the deaths of dozens, if not hundreds of people.
Ugh.
Gilles then, of course, returned to his castle to revel in decadence.
Cool.
This was actually somewhat of a normal pattern for French nobles. You'd go out, you'd kill a bunch of people, you'd probably fuck up your own peasants for a little bit, you'd let the other army fuck up your peasants a little bit, you'd kill dozens upon dozens of people, then you'd go back to your castle and eat goose neck for the next 6 days.
Ooh.
I feel like all of it feels like stressful.
It's very stressful.
Even the big meals seem kind of stressful, and I like a big meal, but it's like
Why?
partially it's like everybody's there
Yeah, it's
because
like, here's a bowl of sparrow's feet.
but I would eat that, but I kind of want to be alone. And like at that point, I'm tired, I'm burnt out.
Yeah.
Like, because that's
But
what I
now-
do at the end of touring and stuff. I'll just like a night horse comes out. I'll order like $90 worth of Chinese food for myself.
Did you say a
And-
night horse?
Yeah, night horse is when the food comes at night, when I change to a man that needs different than the healthy man that was during the day.
I
You
get ya.
self-describe as night horse when you're hungry after 10 p.m.
Well, this has already come up. We've talked about this.
remember that.
I don't remember night horse at all.
I don't remember night horse.
It comes upon me, and but I want to be alone because it's still with these meals. You still got to entertain.
Yeah.
I just got done killing everybody. I'm out of juice because we did a whole like group thump on a bunch of pilgrims, and now what am I supposed to do? Now I got to eat in front of all y'all while the jester. I got to maintain the jester because he's not funny. I got to kill him.
Yeah.
You know how difficult it is then to find another one.
Yeah.
But you know, when you go home and you eat, and yes, because I completely understand, but you want the TV on. You want Guys Grocery games, you want Triple D.
But I don't want to
So the joke-
entertain.
Yeah, but there was no Netflix. There was no TV. You have to do it live theater and chill.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
There's
you
tapestries.
you can watch food shows while you eat.
Yeah, of course. It's like watching porn while you fuck. Sometimes it really does. It helps you get re-hungry for the food that you're eating.
You
Sometimes
don't do
I'll
that?
eat.
No,
Well,
I don't watch cooking shows. They're boring as fuck.
You got to watch a cooking show, and then what I do is, sadly, is that this is really true. It's like I'll get a food that obviously resembles nothing of like the fancy, cool food that they're eating.
Yeah.
I eat like a bowl of cereal, but in my mind, I kind of pretend that it's the food that they're eating.
You don't watch Triple D?
No.
We're all different.
We are all
We're all
different.
different in our own way.
We are all different.
You know Italy's a boot. I'm a comedy podcaster made in a lab.
I know, and he doesn't watch
And
fucking
I've
Triple D.
got a brain full of craggy rocks.
How much Guy Fieri have you watched in your life, do you think? Hours?
Maybe
wise?
10 minutes.
Interesting. Wow. And he can still consort with you.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I know him as a character, but that's it.
Oh, he's a little bit more than that.
He is. He's a man. He's a man. He's a
producer.
father.
No, that's what I mean.
He's
I
a
mean,
volunteer. He's a chef. He's a restaurateur. He's a business owner.
Thank you, Henry. Absolutely correct.
Soon to be president.
I have nothing.
I'll take him.
I have nothing against him at all. I appreciated when he followed Rage Against the Machine on tour for like 6 weeks. I appreciated that.
He's
was
anti-establishment.
fun. He is.
Until he becomes the establishment, and then we'll see what happens when the long arm of Guy Fieri comes for us all.
He would have to do something real bad for me not to defend him.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
What's real bad?
Catering Epstein Island. I'm Guy Fieri, and I'm rolling out to America's places where people have sex with young people.
I'm glad that we let it roll out.
I'm glad too, yeah. Well, pretty soon after Gilles' first battle, his grandfather, Joan de Rais, decided it was time for Gilles to get married.
Oh, yay!
Yeah.
Good for him.
Now, the question of Gilles de Rais' sexuality has been the subject of much controversy throughout the years. We definitely know that Gilles was not heterosexual because it was said multiple times that Gilles had no interest in women whatsoever. In fact, some of the conspiracies that have sprung up around his conviction for hundreds of child murders and his subsequent death, they assert that he was framed and killed because he was gay.
Well, one of the reasons why he was framed.
One of the reasons. I personally do not believe this to be true, nor do I believe that Gilles de Rais was gay. Gilles de Rais was a pedophile, full stop, and was only sexually attracted to children. Didn't matter, both sexes. To go from 1 to 100 here, his servant said that the main difference in how he treated boys and girls was that he took more pleasure in having sex with the neck stump of girls he decapitated than he did in, quote, using their natural orifice in the normal manner. While boys, he just did whatever.
Yeah.
So
He was a man of different tastes and different flavors. We're all made of multitudes.
yeah, I guess
it's a spectrum. Love's a spectrum.
Love's a spectrum.
This house chooses love.
this house chooses love indeed. He's kind of got Gary Glitter tendencies.
Far worse.
Yeah,
But far
he's
worse.
worse,
So
but
Gary
yeah,
can feel good about that.
He really can.
He's back in-
Let me
back
call
in
him.
jail.
Yeah. So suffice to say, Gilles de Rais' marriage was not what you'd call successful. See, if a woman marrying in medieval times had the best of luck, she'd have a husband who was at the very least kind, and they might have something that resembled love eventually, like the Starks.
Security grows into love,
Yes.
doesn't it?
Does
That
it
is
not?
why I keep you safe from the pillaging hordes, Carmelita.
Sweet Carmelita. Now, you haven't bought me a son? Unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut your tits off.
Oh, no.
Yes, but I'm one of the nice ones.
Yeah, so nice is probably just they don't get killed.
Yeah. They don't
Okay.
get, nice is like they are
There's some
cordial.
love back in the day. I feel like there was
Sometimes.
some. Who knows?
Every once in a while.
I would hope so.
Yeah, Ned and Caitlin Stark, they were fond of each other.
They were fake, but
Yeah, that's not
yeah.
real. They must have had love back then, too.
Yeah.
of course.
They were, I would say, a fondness.
Okay.
But for others, they were matched with men like Gilles de Rais. In this case, we have Catherine de Thuers. And even though she was a distant cousin of Gilles, which violated the church's laws on consanguinity, her family estates bordered the lands owned by Jean de Crayon.
Wait, they used to call bro sis love conscientious.
Yeah, they made it sound fancy, but yeah, that's just that's them cousins. That's them kissing cousins.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
cousins marrying each other is consanguinity.
Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
against all the rules. Why for a long time their marriage was shunned because it shows more. That's why, like, as we keep building the case for whether or not the crimes of Gilles de Rais were real, it's more about like, where does the man come from? What are other signs that show the depravity of the dude?
Yeah.
Everybody said our crew is against cousins fucking. Like,
Yeah.
we don't like it. Other royal families do it. Whatever with them, again, good for them, whatever they like. but we don't do it. And they had many options. He was an extremely, like, the potentiality of his kingdom was massive. He could have gotten anybody. And the fact that he wanted to keep it in the family was an immediate showing of like, oh, this is like a deviancy that's starting to grow from early on.
Yeah. Well, there's also a practical side to it as well, because Jean de Crayon's lands bordered the lands of Catherine de Thuers, so a match with his grandson, it was too good to pass up.
Yeah, I did cousin marriage in Crusader Kings. You have to.
You have to. And so, in November of 1420, when Gilles was in his early teens, he rode to the castle Thiefurge and kidnapped Catherine de Thuers. He then terrorized them. I'm doing the best I fucking can.
No,
man.
you're doing great.
I'm doing the best I can. Yeah.
As soon as I heard that, I just thought of, I just wish men were more romantic like they used to be. Like, you're mine now. Come here, woman.
Yep.
He then terrorized a monk into performing the ceremony because of the consanguineous nature of the marriage. But in her marriage, Catherine was vaguely lucky because the marriage was one of the few times that she had to actually be in the presence of Gilles de Rais. Now, that's not to say that he wasn't physically and mentally abusive to her when they appeared at the standard festivals, baptisms, and weddings, but most of the time he left her to live at the castle Puzoge, where Gilles never went. Now, they did have a child 10 years after they were married.
Which speaks to a lot, because that's like a lifetime in medieval time to wait to have kids.
Time. But that conception was certainly not a romantic endeavor and had more to do with securing Catherine's lands and producing the obligatory heir more than anything.
Yeah, because I don't think he ever saw his child.
No.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He had no interest.
You think they
whatsoever.
did it with the sheet? Little hole in a sheet?
I think that when they did it, it was either perfunctory or it was extremely brutal.
Yeah. I would imagine extremely brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, of course, the marriage between Gilles and Catherine wasn't the only land deal being made through a marriage, and it certainly wasn't the only one that involved violence on the part of the de Rais family. In the early 1420s, Jean de Crayon's wife died, so he decided to remarry. And in order to consolidate land and power even more, Jean de Crayon married Catherine de Thuers' grandmother, Anne de Saillet.
I thought you were gonna...
Anne de Saillet.
What?
Who?
He's a crayon. She's a marker. Opposites fucking attract.
I mean, I'm now seeing in your mind. I saw like a collection. I saw him as a giant crayon with the crown on it, and I saw a lady with I saw boobies on a marker. Obviously, I saw long hair on the marker.
Yep.
But yeah, wow.
When you smell my wife, you get high. Remember that when markers used to make you high?
Remember. Oh yeah, I loved it. And then they ended up making the markers that smell good.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, the good smelling marker, the scratches stuff.
The great marker was the best marker.
They don't do it anymore, though.
That's because the chemicals probably caused us all to be sick.
Look at us.
Oh, yeah. Well, when Jean de Crayon married Anne de Saillet, that granted him the castles Thiefurge and Puzoge.
Oh, right.
Yeah. However, these castles would not be passed to Gilles upon Jean de Crayon's death, so Jean had to brute force his way around the law, and Gilles de Rais was about to learn an important lesson. Jean kidnapped the wife of the man whom those castles were supposed to pass to after his death, and told her that if her husband didn't give up the castles Thiefurge and Puzoge, he would sew her up in a sack and throw her in the river.
That's called negotiating.
Do we know if the husband likes her?
I mean, it's a matter of honor more than anything.
I see. It's more just like, that's my wife. You don't do that to my wife. I'm the only one that can hate her.
No, she just died. The dude was going to get these other castles, and then he took the woman that had the castles attached to it, and just be like, well, you're my wife now.
No, it wasn't still you're my wife now. So like, sign over these castles to me, or else I'm going to sew you up in a sack and throw you in the river.
Again, negotiations have to start somewhere.
But she called his bluff.
Whoa.
She refused. He did not sew her up in a sack and throw her in the river.
What?
So to try and negotiate a peaceful end, the captive's husband sent 3 emissaries, including his own brother, to rescue her. But they were thrown in the dungeon to, quote, rot without food or drink.
Now we're just collecting family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do they also use that dungeon as a bathroom? Have you seen that? Like the toilet dungeons that existed back in the day?
Oh, yeah, where people would shit above the toilet. Yeah, and they would.
It was nasty, dude. You don't want to be down there.
No. Well, finally, though, with both his brother and his wife in captivity, the rightful heir to the castles Thiefurge and Puzoge gave up and handed over the rights to the castles, in addition to a ransom.
Oh.
He then reported the behavior to the crown in hopes of some sort of punishment for Jean de Crayon's behavior.
Yeah, he went and tattled.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
but to the point of the king having little real power at this time in France to police the nobles. When the court sent a royal messenger to De Crayon's castle, De Crayon had the messenger brutally beaten and just sent him back to the king and said, "That's what I think about that."
Like Jamal Khashoggi.
Wow, I don't know.
Jamal Khashoggi.
You don't know that story? The Saudi prince who killed the journalist?
Killed the journalist.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, this would be different than that. But, I mean, he did still.
Similar.
He just killed it.
Yes, it's similar.
He
Yeah,
killed the messenger.
Yeah. But yes, he killed the messenger, but this guy wasn't killed. He was sent back to the king.
He was sent back, though.
Back to the king.
Brutally beaten. And when the court issued a fine for the whole incident, the Crayon simply didn't pay. And there was no consequence whatsoever.
And that's a lesson that a lot of men have learned over time for a long time. That if you just don't pay your bills, actually sometimes it's very difficult for them to come get that money.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. Not for us. Actual rich people.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Actual rich people.
Yes.
Yeah, they're smart.
Now, Gilles de Rais learned an incredibly important lesson from his grandfather during this entire escapade. See, most noblemen didn't conduct business through kidnappings, ransoms, and savage beatings. They only did it sometimes.
Yeah, he was acting like a mob boss.
Yeah.
Like he was doing the thing where like, this is how I do stuff. And most of the time, people just like don't want to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. But Jean de Crayon was teaching his grandson that a nobleman could conduct himself in such a way if he was so inclined. And Gilles de Rais was very much inclined towards activities far beyond kidnapping and simple beatings.
It titillated him. Immediately understood. Like, because he jumped right in. Like, that's why Jean de Crayon was like super into Gilles. Like, he loved, they actually were, whatever their version, I don't even know if it was love, but he saw a kindred spirit and took extra attention to make sure that Gilles was like gonna be just like him.
Mm-hmm. So because his grandfather had ignored the laws of God and man, Gilles de Rais was now heir to 3 vast fortunes. And if Gilles believed that he could treat noblemen in this matter, just imagine what he could then allow himself to do to the peasants.
Rise from your grave.
This is a paid ad by BetterHelp. It's so important to remember with the busyness of the holidays, every holiday, Arbor Day, that day about the planet, President's Day. There's so many things to adapt to in this life, and it doesn't follow a perfect plan. God, ruins the whole weekend. But therapy with BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy platform, it can be a space to pause, reevaluate, and adjust to any unexpected changes. With over 30,000 therapists worldwide, BetterHelp is one of the leading online therapy platforms, having served millions of people globally. BetterHelp makes it easier to fit therapy into your routine. You're in good hands, too. BetterHelp therapists have at least 3 years and 1,000 hours of hands-on experience, and hold all required education, training, and certifications. It's easy to do, and the help is better over there. You don't have to navigate life's changes alone. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/lastpod. That's betterhelp.com/lastpod.
Now, once Gilles was of legal age and was able to control the fortunes he'd already inherited, he began ignoring his grandfather altogether. And while we don't know exactly when he began murdering children, I think it's fair to say that he probably at least dabbled in heinous activities after he was answerable to no one.
I mean, his whole life of never being answerable to nobody.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you're grazed by a truly corrupt individual. And I'm certain there was plenty of abuse being bandied about in his, just like, his way of doing things.
Yeah. But pretty soon after Gilles came into his own, he would be called off to battle, where he could spread his misery across France with every other nobleman who was involved in the last phase of the 100 Years' War.
116 Years' War.
Please. Was he actually facing battle?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So that's interesting that they actually sent the noblemen out to truly fight.
Absolutely. Well, it was their choice.
Yeah, they wanted to go. Because it brought great honor. It brought bragging rights, and just that's what you were trained to do.
Yeah.
He was trained to kill. And so now they put him out there to go kill, and he really took to it.
Yeah. He thought it was very fun. Now, I'm sure most of you know that the 100 Years' War was not a war that lasted for 100 years straight.
How long did it last for?
116 Years' War, and that's what we're doing it, and that's what we're changing it.
What?
And it was actually not 100 years straight. It was 3 periods of war. and Gilles de Rais fought in Part 3.
Okay.
There was a couple of decades in between each phase. The first period, however, had been the most hellish. The Black Death in France began and ended during that phase, and it did not slow down the war a bit.
What a nightmare, dude.
In fact, the war only exacerbated the plague because of the thousands of corpses that were created by both the battles and the pillaging. In other words, if the plague didn't get you, the soldiers would.
Oh, yeah. And then at least you're killed. Weirdly, in a way, I bet you, in a really fucked up way, it actually prevented the spread of plague in certain areas because they just came through and killed everybody that would have got the plague. And then it just jumps around. Fun times. Good times.
Well, as far as how the 100 Years' War started, though, it basically came about because England in the early 14th century controlled much of France through a series of marriages and other royal flufferall that didn't mean jack shit to most people. Then, in 1328, the King of France died, but due to the rules of succession involving matrilineal lines and other sundry horseshit, the King of England was suddenly heir to the French throne.
You're hearing this here, right? This is where it gets complicated. Kissel, just let it through. Just let it roll through. That's what I do, too. I'm just letting this information... Just hit my eyeballs. His words, the sounds of his words, the vibrations are hitting my eyeballs.
Right.
I'm looking at him, seeing him smiling. Getting sort of that attitude. Understand that what he's saying he's happy about.
Yeah.
Brain begins to understand all of this information, still technically on Wikipedia if I need it.
Henry, we're going to chalk this up to flufferall.
This is all flufferall.
This is flufferall.
I actually said that word for your benefit in particular because I knew you would attach to the word flufferall.
I love the word flufferall.
That's all he can think about.
Absolutely.
Italy is a boot.
And Italy is a boot. And Flufferall, it's a fantastic program where we send you a fluffer. If you have a porn, their hands are always wet.
Mom and dad aren't kissing anymore?
Flufferall.
Welcome to Flufferall. A man who gets your father hard enough to love your mother.
Well, yes. There was basically a bunch of kings and queens would intermarry between countries for various truces, all sorts of shit.
Right.
There were so many different reasons why they would intermarry. But basically, when the King of France died, the King of England was the heir to the throne. And since England already controlled half
Which is
of
kind
France,
of a snipperoo, right? It's bad, right? It was a mistake.
It was a mistake because then the King of England had the rights to the rest of France. The French didn't like this.
Right.
They took umbrage to that. So they attacked England and kicked off 116 years of on and off bloodshed.
Can we cut to a medieval flutes version of All Along the Watchtower? That's a really good idea. I feel like that's a good cover.
idea.
Made in a lab.
My mama raised me. I ain't no test tube baby. I just couldn't suck.
I know.
Now, by the time of Gilles de Rais, 1425, the Great Mortality was almost 100 years in the past, and England was under the rule of King Henry VI, who was at this point not quite 5 years old.
Oh, a 5-year-old is in charge of all this shit?
He actually came into power when he was 9 months old.
It's a very important baby.
Yeah.
Wow.
France, meanwhile, was being ruled by a 22-year-old named Charles VII, who was at that time not yet named king because his father had technically disinherited him before he died. But
These are all fucking children running the show?
It happens. Again, when you notice that in a underlying, that's when to attack in Crusader Kings 3.
Mm-hmm. Also happens in Game of Thrones all the time.
Yeah.
But even so, this guy, Charles VII, was still in power as the Dauphin, which is a French word meaning the guy who's next in line to be the king. Now, the 100 Years' War...
Yeah, I bet he is a real fan of dough because a lot of those guys were pretty big.
Absolutely.
Dauphin.
Dauphin.
Absolutely.
Dauphin.
Well, bread is a sign of wealth.
Yeah.
Well, bread was all the people's food.
Yeah. Now, the 100 Years' War had been reignited 10 years earlier after decades of peace when England invaded Normandy. England had since come to occupy most of northern France, including the cities of Paris and Orleans. So to retake their lands, the call to war was sounded, and Gilles de Rais was one of the many who answered.
Remember, history makes you hot, guys. Both of our
Absolutely.
wives are hot women that voluntarily turn themselves into nerds.
Absolutely.
So now just understand the new cool thing is to be super into the 116 Years' War.
Okay.
The last 2 weeks, the only thing that my wife has been talking about around the house is the Cold War.
Think about that. So when you say this is boring,
isn't
it's
that
not.
nice?
Become a hot woman in your mind.
There you go. And isn't that fun? And she's using it as an analogy for your marriage. Isn't that? It's like a Cold War. Marcus, I feel like we're going through a Cold War.
I call you. So you guys are more. It's more of an organized. What do they call it? It's a theater of conflict.
You mean like a demilitarized zone?
Yeah.
Yes, it's very much so.
Well, here from author Michael Bataille. Or Bataille?
I don't know.
Who
Michael
cares?
Bataille. I don't know.
I think it might be Bataille.
Bataille. Well, here is a description of a soldier's life during the war. There were days of drunkenness after the pillage of an enemy convoy, nights of hunger in which one could not sleep. When one found friends who had been taken prisoner and tortured, in revenge one tortured enemy prisoners to make an example, without hate, with indifference. One brutalized the peasants one met. To avoid being betrayed by them, one needed to treat them worse than the enemy. One hanged many. The population did not get indignant. On the days of a hanging, the condemned formed a line waiting for their turn without anger, without tears, without cries. They helped to put the cord into place. They cooperated in the abominable rites that belong to war.
All right, Dan, let's take that back with a little bit less emotion. It's a little too emotional, Dan.
No, tell me, Sherry, did you not fill out the car resignation form? Seems that our DMV notice is late.
Good. A little bit less energy, Dan.
No, it's good.
Did you have coffee today?
It's the true, unwavering voice of the unbiased historian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
I
true
suppose.
radio voice. That is the voice of a true radio professional.
Yeah. I'm not. I love Dan Carlin.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Now, as far as what Gilles de Rais did in the war, he was not only permitted, but encouraged to quench his bloodthirst on the battlefield to the point of carnage.
That's what it was for.
Yeah.
So technically, though, he's being a hero
Well, again,
by their standards.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is them. This is when the world, if it's true that he's like, quote unquote, the world's first serial killer, as they talk about, it was perfectly done for him.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this made him, he was a reckless yet still very successful commander. Part of that was because Gilles was in the early days babysat by a more experienced commander at the insistence of Jean de Craon, which he wasn't about to lose his hair after all the bullshit he went through to get those castles. But by 1427, Gilles had enough experience to command on his own, and he used his power and money to help raise 5 companies for military campaigns in which his boldness worked to his advantage. In one assault on the English stronghold of Leude, Gilles and his company attacked a large, solidly built garrison with a sustained cannon bombardment until his army was able to scale the walls for a full-on assault.
That's you. I was going to get the siege towers working at a good, like you have to eventually send in your fast units, right? Because they got to muck up all their land units, wherever, especially if they got any weird sort of like individual IUs, right? You're fighting those. Then you bring in the siege towers from the side, right? Because you have to start the artillery bombing first, because that's how you cover it. And then you come in from the...
Did Gilles do all this while sitting on his heated toilet seat also? Because
honestly, yes, but his heated toilet seat was the back of a man.
Yeah, it was a person. Oh, that's sad.
When the signal to attack was given, Gilles was the first to the top of the wall, where he was faced with a famed English captain named Blackburn.
Whoa.
Within minutes, Gilles' sword had, quote, torn away between the plates of mail and buried itself in the flesh.
Whoa.
And Captain Blackburn lay dead at his feet.
And then he went and he looked over the corpse and he said, "Show me the titty."
Show me the titty. Wow. Made in a lab. Wow.
With their leader dead, English morale collapsed and the castle was taken. Now, the English were actually spared, but the French collaborators were executed. Gilles then moved on with his men. High on victory, they decided, fuck it, let's try taking another castle.
It's always good to roll with it because you don't get them a chance to set back up.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
But when the garrison at Le Mans was too tough to take, Gilles and his company returned to court victorious nonetheless.
Yeah, you already got one. You got one W. That's it. That's all it needs.
That's all you need. Now, while Gilles was out making a name for himself, his cousin, Georges de la Trumois, had been gaining influence and power at court, having been elevated to a position equivalent to prime minister, that of chamberlain. See, Georges immediately recognized that Gilles was a good ally because he was not only handsome and witty, but was rich enough to maintain an army. But while Gilles was rubbing elbows with the most powerful people in France and being accepted into their inner circle, those same nobles were fucking up the war because of their own egos. By 1429, the English had taken control of the city of Orleans. Orleans. After a battle known as the Day of the Herrings.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, the disorganized French had tried to attack the English supply lines. They broke a bunch of barrels of fish.
Yeah.
The fish were all over the place, and the stench of defeat was, of course, accompanied by the stench of herring.
It's supply lines.
That's what they did.
It's supply
lines.
Always.
Now, nobody really knew what to do at that point because everyone wanted to be the hero. Therefore, no one was the hero. Nobody was working together. There was no unifying force.
I mean, honestly, at this point, you got to freak them out, man. You got to grab one of those fish, dude, eat it raw right in front of them, let them know you're crazy, dude.
Yeah, sure. But then, they're also like, that actually looks good.
Yeah.
And they just eat the fish too. That's what they had the fish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they loved all that.
Right.
But luckily for the court, the person who arrived to report on the Day of the Herrings was none other than Joan of Arc.
What?
As soon as he saw her, the first thing he said,
You go on.
show me the tits.
Show me the tits. Wait, now, so Joan of Arc? This is real.
This is real.
Joan of Arc.
She showed
This
up
is
here.
comes into play. So
1,000% real.
Wow.
When she shows up, Gilles de Rais is there.
Wow.
yes, they are intertwined in history.
Yeah.
Joan of Arc, because remember the one thing we didn't, I guess we did explain, but it's one of those things. Our king, the French king, is hiding, right? Like he's hiding because there's a French king, and then there's also a English king of France. It's a whole thing. But morale is falling apart.
Okay.
I didn't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
Remember at the time period, I watched a really interesting documentary called The Real Joan of Arc that talks about the concept at the time. Whoever was winning in a war was on the right side of God. And
Sure.
that meant a lot to the people, right?
Yeah.
Because the idea is like, so while the French were losing, it was because they lost favor in God's eyes, and that's why they were losing, and they were all falling apart, and they had nobody to look at.
Yeah, and I'm just happy we don't do religious-based warfare anymore.
We don't.
No, not at all.
Now, Joan of Arc biographers tend to ignore the fact that she fought alongside Gilles de Rais, quite possibly the most brutal child murderer in known history. But historical records show that Gilles de Rais saved Joan of Arc's life in battle during the few times that she failed.
Really?
And was in fact friends with the woman who is now a saint of the Catholic Church. In fact, Gilles de Rais' connection to Joan of Arc was why he was famous in France before he was famous for being a child killer.
Wait, you're
Oh,
telling
and
me
then-
that the Catholic Church has direct ties with someone who might do something wrong with a child?
I can't believe they'd even
No
try to cover up.
way.
Well, that's a part of the rebuttal to the rebuttal.
Yeah.
Which is they're trying to make, it's a long game to try to remake Gilles de Rais innocent because his connections to Joan of Arc sully her name.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting. So she's giving him the good rub. She's just like, well, he can't
Well,
be
it's
that bad.
because-
He hung out with Joan of Arc.
She became the patron saint of the
Right.
entire country. It's that is all real.
Many years later.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
at the time, she was immediately this fucking superstar.
Yeah. And so, since Joan and Gilles were close, it bears getting into the bizarre life of Joan of Arc.
Super weird.
It's very strange.
Because you don't really know. Like I went through a couple of sources to try to really, because the mystical end is really interesting. Because we know that she believed that she had a direct line to a series of angels.
Mhm. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Joan of Arc was a peasant who led France's armies into battle on many occasions after being directed to do so by angels representing God. And she did it all starting at the age of about 16. Now, her military prowess is indeed real. There's no myth busting to be had there. Out of her 13 known military engagements, Joan won 9.
Pretty good?
Yeah, owes mostly to her incredible understanding of artillery placement. It means she was probably fantastic at math.
Yeah, and understood angles. I mean,
Cannons,
there's also
like she just knew and she also understood intimidation very well.
she did a thing, but it's very, very interesting because there was a prophecy that was like put out amongst the hoi polloi kissel of France, right? The bigger
been there.
strippers, the bigger rounders.
Yeah, the bigger round of the bobbers.
The bobbers. And there was I guess the line comes, they believe it might have started with Merlin. That's kind of, they put it to like, we'll get to our Was Merlin Real series eventually. Can't
of
wait to
course.
bore you. That's my shit.
Yeah.
We're going to do a whole King Arthur thing.
I'm
going to
excited.
drag all of you through that shit with me. But
I prefer the documented history, but that's just me.
oh my fucking
Wow.
I'm
I
already
can't wait
upset.
for that series.
I'm already to fight.
That's
We're gonna
gonna be
fight.
fun.
We're gonna come to blows.
Yeah, we're going to have to start that series with ding, ding, ding.
but there,
Are you ready to rumble?
the prophecy was that a woman will lose France, but a virgin shall save her. And this concept of this woman.
Jaleel wasn't a virgin, though.
No, the woman that lost. There's another
Joan
person.
was the virgin.
Yes, there's basically you're talking about the woman who lost France was why it was. That is a kind of meltdown of the idea of the family lines caused them to lose the throne of France.
Matrilineal lines.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they said that there was a prophecy. This person's going to show up and it's going to take us to the top. And so at some point, this girl arrived. She arrived and she was she fit the bill. She was full, like you'd call her sort of vaguely a heretic, but she was a true believer. She believed that she had direct line to God, which is both challenging to people.
Yeah.
Because you had to prove it. Which you have how she proves it, right?
Somewhat, yeah.
Which is like she proves it by guessing who's the king in a group of people that are like the king hid amongst them.
Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. But so there's some kind of talk about, was she trained and not actually just some peasant girl? Like, was she actually of a rich family that she got military training and then some savvy people behind the curtain understood, like, that's the girl we're looking for. That's our Zendaya. We need her in front because she fits this picture that we're going to do. And then decided there's that story whether or not because she showed up and she could jump on a horse, she could use a lance, and they're like she shouldn't be able to do it. She definitely could read, and she shouldn't have been able to read.
Well, how'd they prove she was a virgin?
A long process.
We'll get into that here in a second.
Because when you hop on a horse,
pop.
Yep, you hop on a horse. Also, I feel like
old Dr. Hyman Buster over here.
That's my name. The thing is, I feel like if you're a virgin, for some reason, if you kill someone, I don't think you're a virgin anymore.
I don't know why.
If
you kill someone before having sex for the first time,
just like now, if it doesn't,
yeah,
you jumped it.
Yeah,
I cry for that child.
Yeah. Now, it's said that while Joan of Arc, the person, was very simple, they even described her as childlike, personally, she was masterful in battle, but really only when she had cannon to back her up. When she didn't, she lost. But that wasn't really the point of Joan of Arc.
Yeah.
Joan of Arc was a symbol, someone for the French to rally around and the English to fear. She freaked the English out.
Yes.
She was also out of her fucking mind.
Oh.
Someone who truly believed that her frequent auditory and visual hallucinations were heaven sent.
She saw full body apparitions.
Yeah.
She said the people
Full
that she
torso
talked
vapors.
to.
I mean,
full
she
torso
didn't
vapor.
even need meth like the Nazis did. She just fucking had it.
They said that she never tired. She said that she was up all night. I think it's because
Manic.
she was like an 18. So you forget how young and strong you can be.
Yeah.
But she would talk with them. There's some words. She also said she saw God in lights and sounds, and she would see things, and that she was given a set of things that she was supposed to do by the angel Michael. The archangel Michael arrived to her. She said, number one, great hair, smelled great.
John Travolta.
It was.
Yes.
It was him time
It was
traveling.
Michael. Yeah.
And he was like, oh, Joel, what you got?
Oh, he's back.
Oh, God, come on.
Made in a lab.
Made in a lab. But there's some sayings that they think that the angels she spoke to are an allegorical version of actual people she talked to that she would posit as she'd call her angels.
Right.
But they were like, guys.
It seems like in any era, she would have a compelling story and some followers.
Yes.
But I mean, it also could have been that it's been posited that she had a form of epilepsy.
Oh, yeah.
Because she also supposedly, when she had these visions, she saw bright lights. The visions were apparently triggered by bells, certain sounds. And it could just be that she was trying to make sense of a very serious medical problem.
Oh, yeah.
And she just fucking ran with it harder than anyone in history.
So all of the opposing armies could have just all rung school bells and killed her.
I mean, that would be incredible.
They would have won.
Yeah.
She was the Daniel Johnston of medieval history.
Yeah, the outsider military commander, yeah. But the problem with symbols like Joan of Arc is that they often outlast their usefulness to the people in charge, because symbols are, by their very nature, unpredictable and hard to control. And as we'll see with Joan of Arc, the end of a symbol can be quite messy indeed.
Oh, yes.
Now, according to Joan, she was only 13 when she heard a voice in her father's garden. She said it was about noon.
Hey, Joni, where you going, Mr. Carter?
The voice, she said.
I don't care what anyone thinks. I love it.
I love it. It's great. It's fine. The voice.
It's fine. It's very supportive.
Of course. The voice, she said, came from the direction of the church and was actually quite disturbing every time it happened.
Oh, Joe!
Oh, he's back, baby!
Oh.
Wow.
The voice usually came with a light, she said, and the sound of it was, Henry, ineffably grave and sweet.
That is, I
What does that
literally
even
couldn't
mean?
do ineffably grave and sweet if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Because I think that's how I view like Andy Dufresne. I feel like it's something like that. It's more because that's my Morgan Freeman. It's just that word.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
Morgan Freeman.
yeah.
That's
Andy Dufresne, Joan of Arc, go through a river of shit, give a clean on the other side. Like that's all I know. It's not even good.
No, it's good.
not.
It makes
but,
sense.
But it's that is ineffably grave and sweet. That's Morgan Freeman. Like say Morgan Freeman in Seven when he's talking to Gwyneth Paltrow. That's ineffably grave and sweet.
Yes, indeed.
Your husband is
You spoil that child as much as you possibly can.
It is.
Yeah, and then her head ends up in a fucking box.
Whoa, spoilers!
Wow, I never saw that. I didn't see that part.
Soon, Joan not only heard the voice, but
That's the only part I've seen.
Yeah.
I just watch it over and over and over and over.
Just what's in the
Yeah.
box? What's in the
What's
box?
in the box?
What's in
And
the
then he
box?
opens it up and it's just one of her.
Testicles.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna let
That's
that.
improv.
We're gonna let that be. 2023. You never know what's in the box.
Well, soon Joan not only heard the voice, but saw who it belonged to. In her hallucination, Joan was visited by Saint Michael the Archangel, protective warrior saint of France, and the protector of the Valois line of the French royal family.
And he looked her up and down. And the first thing he said, he said,
he said, show look at
show me the titty.
Show me the titty. Very good.
Oh, Andy, show me the titty.
Oh, that's good. Morgan Freeman, are you here with us?
He did a lab.
No,
He's made in a lab.
No, when Saint Michael appeared before Joan, he told her that if she was a good child, God would help her, but only if she sought the help of the King of France first. She ignored this suggestion for years, but eventually Saint Michael was joined by visions of two more saints. The first was Saint Margaret of Antioch, Margaret the Virgin, while the second was Saint Catherine of Alexandria. Now, if
Not a
Mike-
virgin.
No, just
Nah,
Saint Catherine. No.
Total slut.
Saint Catherine Big Hole.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Now, if Michael was a saint representing French patriotism, then the two women represented a moral strength, and in the case of Margaret, an almost militant virginity.
Yes, because Joan of Arc was that was interesting. She said she was very protective of her virginity.
Yes.
And she was constantly afraid that someone would say something as coarse as "show me the titty,"
Got you.
because she was afraid constantly that she did not like to be in the private. She did not like to be in private with men.
But
she was afraid of them.
But she was in private with men a number of times, which we'll get to here in a second.
Okay.
Now, Margaret the Virgin, according to legend, it's part of the story.
I know, I know.
I'm not being creepy.
No,
It's
I know,
part
I know.
of the story.
It's fucking 800 years old.
Rise from your grave.
Courage. I learned it from my adoptive mom. Hold my hand.
You hold my hand.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Now, Margaret the Virgin, according to legend, had consecrated her virginity to God. That plan was disrupted, however, when a Roman governor proposed marriage and demanded that she renounce Christianity. She declined and was tortured, which is when the miracles that earned Margaret her sainthood occurred. The most impressive miracle by far was when Satan appeared in the shape of a dragon and swallowed her up.
Whoa, that's big.
But
That's
she had
big.
But she had a cross with her, and she started tickling Satan's innards.
All right, so a Looney Tunes type defense.
It works. It works.
Yeah, and so Satan got sick and threw her back up. She was alive.
That's why she's a fucking saint.
That's one of the reasons why.
I'm also going to just say straight up, that just means that, like, honestly, Satan wasn't strong enough in that time period because you don't think that's the first time someone's tried to tickle his stomach from the inside because you're
Yeah.
wriggling around in there.
Mhm.
No, I think actually tickling still works.
Yeah.
It's a torture indeed.
It
Yeah,
is
ask
indeed.
my father.
Absolutely.
Tickling still works.
Well, that's just so we can make sure he has feelings still.
Yeah, ask your father. You're saying that you tickle your father or that your father tickled you as punishment as a little boy?
Ask my father.
We shall.
Well, That's the thing, is that this woman, after she was vomited back up by Satan, the Roman governor decapitated her, thus ensuring her martyrdom.
Honestly, things just used to be easier.
Yeah, a lot of saints got decapitated. back
Okay,
then.
I know.
A
It just
lot of
doesn't.
them.
She did not get decapitated. So I
Most of the
don't
time
know why
you
she's a saint. Is all I'm saying.
Most of the time, to be a saint, it's because you have been. It seems to be a long-running theme is getting tortured to death.
Yeah, getting tortured to death, getting fed to lions, getting your head cut off. But she also, remember, she consecrated her virginity to God.
Yeah.
And so she protected her virginity. She did not renounce Christianity. Miracles occurred, and then she was killed. Boom, that's a saint right there.
And
That's
the
how
only
saints-
dude.
I
That's how
wouldn't do
saints
it.
work.
I wouldn't do it.
No, absolutely not. I fold.
Yeah.
Very, very fast, and because God was the only person that could say to her, "Show me the titty."
Wow.
Now, these saints supposedly visited Joan of Arc at least once a week for 5 years, telling her over and over again to seek the King of France, seek the King of France. And she neglected to tell anyone what she was seeing until the taking of Orleans.
Now, we also only know this from her trial. We
Yes.
don't know any of this information about her, like, because she really did kind of pop out of nowhere,
She
according
did.
to a bunch of people.
She finally gave in to the voice's commands and traveled to court to report on the Day of the Herrings, where she met with Charles VII's military commander. Acting on the advice of the voices, Joan dressed in men's clothing in order to get her foot in the door, then ingratiated herself with 2 of the commander's men. And as it just so happened, when Joan of Arc arrived on the court scene in 1429, Gilles de Rais was also there.
She ladybugged it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But opposite. Because Ladybug,
Well, yes, he
that was a boy
pretended to be-
becoming
yes,
a...
Becoming a girl.
Yeah.
There's another one.
It was more. It was the one where the girl puts the sock and then she rips off her shirt at the end. And
No, I remember
she
it's a great
shows-
movie.
It's called
That's the
Irish
boys
Kiss
that-
or something.
It's called. Yeah, it's
One
called
of the boys.
Yeah, it's called Two Boys, One Cup.
No, not
It's,
Two Boys. You don't want to see
I
that.
want to say it's girls, boys in the locker. It's something about like
I know the
smoking in the boys'
Smoking
room.
in the girls' room, smoking in the panties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show me the titty.
Show me the titty.
Please, Andy Dufresne.
It's called smoking in the panties. Please. Do you want to look it up?
He's
Ben?
looking it up.
I'm literally searching the. I don't know how to Google. So this
I
is
just wanna
girl
hear-
dresses as the boy to play football. She's the man.
She's the man. That's what it was.
no,
it?
but no, I'm talking about an '80s one
Yeah, an
where the
80s
chick
one.
was in the cover.
Yeah.
Doesn't come to a grounded halt.
Yeah,
This is just really, because the audience is screaming.
Oh
right
yeah.
now.
Well, no,
They
I
just
don't think it's the. Remember that she's in the cover and she has a football.
One of the boys.
We know what we know what
it
it is.
one of the
It
boys?
doesn't matter. I just remember the woman's breasts in it.
Yeah. So do I. That's the only scene from the entire movie. It was like in a cave or
Because
something.
the rest of it
short
doesn't
hair.
matter.
Wasn't she in a cave and it was raining?
No,
I
one
don't
of the boys
remember.
is a Katy Perry album. No, that's wrong. I forget, but I know the cover. I bought it and I used it.
In your gilded chamber.
Yes.
Now, concerning Gilles de Rais and Joan of Arc.
Thank you.
Some of Gilles de Rais' biographers, the ones with more romantic points of view, they claim that Gilles was immediately smitten with Joan of Arc and thereafter fell in love at first sight.
No.
They go on and on to say that Gilles was suffering from erotic frustration because of his wife's frigidity.
Oh, yeah, because that's what they always say about medieval times and marriages, too, because women are even like, they're definitely allowed to be frigid.
Yeah. And they also said that Joan of Arc became a symbol of spiritual and physical longing, and her purity kept her out of reach from Gilles de Rais. But to the contrary, it was documented by several authors that Joan gave off no sexual aura whatsoever.
Literally did not want it. Did not
It was
want
just
the women.
no sexual aura.
Yeah, she's a warrior.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah, and Gilles de Rais was, of course, a horrific child murderer who opened the body cavities of his victims so he could look at their internal organs while having sex with the cadavers while they were still warm because Gilles disliked a cold corpse.
We're all different.
Well, you did just
I
shoehorn
drink
that in
iced
there.
coffee.
Wow.
I drink iced coffee all through the winter.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was something he used to do. We'll get into that, I'm sure.
But this is a reason also, we'll get to the reason why I think there's also pushback about with these claims, because I think a lot of people don't do the horrible reading that we do and know that serial killers have done the things that he said that he did. Because a lot of people be like, no one would ever do that. But now we know for a fact that they do that. And then imagine what you would do if you had total, complete control and the society wouldn't fuck with you for doing it.
At all.
Yeah.
Well, and if you had the help of, say, 4 to 5 people. Like if you had a full team of people.
Your
that
cousins and your brothers that
Yeah.
were all involved.
Right,
Yeah.
like an A team.
Yeah, and people that are also covering up for you, just like an A-team.
Just like, man, that reboot, that dark reboot of
Oh, it
A-Team
was weird. Yeah, it was weird.
Mr. T. I didn't know T stood for that.
Well, as author Leonard Wolf puts it, it was probably more likely that Joan and Gilles were simply two strange people who bonded through continued battlefield experiences and a shared love of the theatrical.
Oh, it's just because she was fucking batshit, whatever she was.
Yeah.
And he was, which is another crazy fucking maniac, like a supervillain.
But it's even possible that Joan saw Gilles as a sort of project, because while he was a psychopath, he was also a skilled and capable commander. And so, under Joan's influence, Gilles de Rais had a brief period of honor during this phase of the 100 Years' War, when Joan was hanging around.
You mean Virgin Eye for the rapist guy? I didn't even write that. I didn't even do that.
You didn't even do that. You didn't even do that.
That's fresh.
That's fresh.
Wow.
That's just that is what you get when you make a podcaster in a lab.
Absolutely. In a lab. And I just want to thank Men's Health for not hiring real writers.
Does it mean that my memories are fake? Have I always been? Did you just meet me mysteriously when I was 26 years old?
We programmed you this way, but we don't want you to find out this way.
Yeah.
So
Because you know how big of a budget me and Ben had back in 2009, 2010.
You guys were secret millionaires.
This whole time. That's why we were recording out of that fucking dingy, dank basement.
Wait a second, I'm having another memory. Was I in a houseboat? Whoa, was I Manchurian?
You are Manchurian, my friend.
Whoa, cool.
Cool.
Thanks for the wife, CIA.
Now, as far as Joan's appearance went, all accounts had her showing up at court with a short bowl haircut, shaved at the base of the neck and cut above the ears, as was the style for men at the time.
And Emo Phillips in the mid-'80s.
Very much so. He's one of my favorites. She was also said to be pretty, but not overly so. And she was average height for the time, about 5'2". They were very short back then.
Her frosh.
Yeah. But the one thing that almost everyone commented upon, and I only mention this in the interest of historical context.
Thank you.
Everyone from the dukes who dressed with her before battle to the squire who helped her take a dump said that Joan of Arc had, in their words, beautiful breasts.
Show me the titty.
Fantastic. I thought you were going to see something more negative about a stench that could come from her nether regions.
That's disgusting.
That is absolutely disgusting.
No.
She had many of them. They all said her breasts were beautiful.
Well, what was
But
it?
they spoke about her.
Suited. Was it suited for matronly? It was like suiting for like that's the term that they used for big bosomed. Was that it was good for babies?
The Duke did say beautiful breasts in French, of course. But,
yeah. That's how you say it.
Well, good for them.
But I bring that up for a reason.
Thank you.
Some historical misunderstandings of Joan of Arc posit that Joan posed as a man throughout her military career. She did not. Yeah, she only dressed as a man until she gained access to Dauphin Charles VII, the ruler of France.
So she was like, "Ooh, I have a secret for you," and then she's like, "Look at these knockers."
Yeah,
and they're like,
"What these tits be on a lot, dude?"
No,
I don't know.
Wow.
But isn't this the story where she showed up? And the way they wanted to prove whether or not she actually had magical powers, because they heard about this chick and she had like the power of prophecy,
right?
And she was getting, they wanted it to be real,
yeah,
because they needed somebody to inspire everybody.
She had the fake nipple like the psychic in Mallrats.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I get where you're coming from.
Yes,
psychic.
But yeah, it's like this.
She had that.
Show me the details.
Thank
you. But she showed up in court, and the king did the thing where, because no one knew she didn't know what he looked like, ostensibly.
No one really knew what the king looked like at that time.
And so he hid amongst his courtiers, and they said that if she could figure out who the king was, she's the real deal.
Just the short guy screaming at everyone.
Basically. But she figured that. I do feel like there's almost a fear of that. And they're like they didn't know that it was very obvious who the king, but then she was like, and that's the king. And they were all like, no fucking shit. And they all flipped out. And immediately he princessed her, which was not taken lightly at the time. Like he saw that.
It's still not.
It very much impressed him.
Yeah. And, I might be attributing things to her that may not be there, but it seemed like she was a good judge of human nature. Like she could tell, like it seemed like she could read a room and say like, well, that guy is being revered above all else. A king's going to have an aura about him.
She is a capital G, great person in history's ability to understand her place and time and what it would serve. And so did, and that's why it's so compelling to compare her with Gilles de Rais, because it's the two very opposite sides.
Yeah.
Where like it really was a true believer and a villain style, but they both kind of understood where they were in history and how
I'm
they
sure,
could affect it.
Yeah, and maybe she's just, she could just read people and people like looked at that guy and she's like, probably that guy.
And we talk about all the time how many times we see somebody that just born modern
Yeah.
in one of these time periods, and then they kind of stick out because they have this sort of like understanding, because you'll see it was her basic humanity changed the entire army.
Yeah. Well, at her first meeting with Charles VII, after she revealed her gender, they spoke for 2 hours, and it said that Charles wept after hearing what she had to say. Apparently, she had offered a private prayer regarding the legitimacy of his crown, and she was apparently quite convincing. In France, as Henry said, it was certainly at a low point here, and Joan of Arc seemed to be, if you're looking at it cynically, somewhat of a publicity stunt.
Oh, yeah.
It's sort of a last-ditch effort to turn this whole 100 Years' War thing around. Of course, she later proved herself to be valuable in battle as well, but Joan of Arc as a symbol was far more important.
It was way more important.
Yeah.
Of course, for those listening, the 100-Year War was actually fought in 3 different increments and lasted a total of 106.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How did you know that?
I actually just, the thing was with crayon. He's just scuffing up the floor.
That's not bad.
Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy. Yeah. Now, for some reason,
Now they got this guy Macron. He leaves crumbs everywhere.
That's a cookie joke.
Wait a second. I made it in a lab.
Your memories are fake.
Oh, shit.
Now, the Dauphin decided that if Joan of Arc was a virgin, then she was sent from God, and he'd consider her request to give her an army to retake Orleans. But if she wasn't, then she was sent by the devil, and she would probably be killed.
Yeah, it was a big gamble.
Whoa.
So Charles VII had all manner of church officials and noblewomen crawl all over Joan. And they afterward concluded that only goodness, humility, virginity, devotion, honesty, and simplicity existed within her.
Well,
Now, you know how they tell you if you're a virgin?
How? Literally,
What
how?
they do is this is the ancient, you can do this at home.
This
If
would
you
be a
want to tell
joke,
this man,
isn't
like, no, this is real.
This would be a joke made in a lab.
No,
isn't it?
absolutely. No. Is that you get the woman, you get on her back, you get the legs up there, and the key is you take a little seed, you throw it at the pussy. If it bounces off, she's virgin.
Yeah.
But if
the seed sticks,
that's a lady who's been a husband.
she's been plucked.
If
and not
so
by
you're saying
you.
if the vagina eats the seed.
That's how you know.
Yeah, like Little Shop of Horrors, like it's Audrey too.
That was Nat Knight's first date.
No, really.
That is fantastic.
That is fantastic.
But after all the probing and prodding, is she still even a virgin?
Well, I don't.
Because they get the spatula, whatever the fuck it's called.
I actually
Speculum.
don't know how they checked if she was a virgin. I do think that they literally just stuck a finger up her pussy.
They might have.
But then she's not a.
Well, yeah,
Anyway,
she is
but
a
no, you
virgin.
feel
Yeah,
the-
you're not a virgin when you get fingered for the first time. You lose your virginity when you have sex for the first time.
Depending on how vigorous it is.
Yeah,
Depending.
I didn't go to Notre
I guess
Dame, buddy.
depending on your sexual.
I actually that's
Wow,
up
we're
for.
in
I
the
think
weeds.
that's up for debate.
We're
but
very much
we
in the
can move
weeds.
on. We can move on. I just don't. It's like a weird thing for them, but people are weird.
No,
Yeah.
it's because again, it's about is what she's saying real?
Right.
Because a part of it was a virgin would
It
say
has
France.
to do it.
Yeah.
Right, got it.
Yeah, but the king still asked for a sign from God. But Joan, in a shrewd tactic, said that she would only produce that sign at Orleans and nowhere else, because that was what the voice commanding her said. You got to do it in Orleans. And so the king figured, N for a penny, M for a pound, if you'll excuse the English expression. And he gave Joan of Arc control of an army and sent her to Orleans.
Marcus, when you write sentences like that, did you think that anyone wasn't going to, or like, because it's like you always.
No, I could see because I could see the smile on his face, like
In for a penny, in for a pound. If they excuse me.
Well, the reason why I would ask for an perhaps pardon is because I'm speaking of the French here, and at this time the French were enemies of the English.
It is
So
a Dan
I would-
Carlin
and So
joke.
I would imagine that perhaps the French might take umbrage to me using an English expression
Not
to describe
made in a lab. Not made in a lab.
No, 100% Texan homegrown,
yeah,
my friend.
made the old fashioned way by bullying.
All right.
Well, so Joan of Arc was given control of an army and was sent to Orleans. In tow, of course, was Gilles de Rais, who was placed in charge of another company supporting Joan. Now, when it came to the theatrical, Joan had a special suit of white armor made for her ride to Orleans.
Yeah, man, like Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, she was, I think, quickly figuring out that the more she played up her image, the more likely it would be that people would follow her.
Also, now we're turning the tide, right? We were trying to inspire people. We're trying to say God's on our side. Now we got God's number one agent here helping us.
Yeah.
Super cool.
She also had banners made featuring Christ, flanked by 2 angels, which was a design that she said was, again, given to her by her angels.
Man, they had a fucking graphic designer.
Yes.
They had a PR guy. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
She also carried a sword with 5 crosses engraved on the blade, which she'd found rusting in the back of a church after the voices told her where to find it.
This is also like,
That's
it
awesome.
really is true. Like, and there's a lot of accounts of people saying, like, the thing about her is that she was spooky.
Mm-hmm.
Is that she would say shit like that. She'd go off and be like, there's a sword in the barn that belongs to me. And they're like, okay, Joan.
Yeah.
And then she'd like go and find, he's like, I told you how God directed me to it. And you're like, well, I hope we're having lamb consomme, right? What are we having here, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure some of it was, of course, propaganda.
Yeah, of course.
But the thing is that even the English would say, like, it was supernatural to see her on a battlefield.
People stuck whatever it was, they stuck to kayfabe. And they all knew they all had to, like, present her as such.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the thing, is that the people loved her for it. And, of course, because the people loved her for it, then the king loved her for it. And military commanders even started following. At first, they grumbled, of course, because this fucking 16-year-old who just shows up, they're
Right.
putting her in charge of armies. But then once she started winning battles, they were like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
People are
was
fighting
good-
harder for it. It's
Yeah.
the Dan Carlin X Factor he talks about all the time.
Yeah, and she was good for morale. And some have, of course, tried reducing Joan of Arc to a simple mascot, even though her skills in battle are well documented. But I believe that her true contribution to the French military was that she instituted radical changes in how medieval armies behaved, even if some of those rules were a result of her forcing rigid Christian morality on others. For example, Joan told all of the sex workers traveling with the army that they had to get married to someone within a day of her decree or leave.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
you
she
just
was
get married
shutting
to
down.
someone, you know.
She's shutting that pussy down.
Yeah. She also forbade all swearing and blasphemy and required all the soldiers to go to confession.
Yeah, she made it all nice.
Yeah, it might be good for
It was.
keep the focus,
Yeah.
you know.
But the most important change she made was when she forbade her soldiers from pillaging, raping, and murdering the peasant populace.
Well, that's nice.
I mean,
It's
it was
good.
definitely a hard way to try to get them all to change. They were really used to it.
It was a tall order because not only were they used to it, as Henry said, but they derived a lot of their pay from pillaging the peasant population. But Joan came up with a radical solution for this problem. She proposed that Charles VII pay them.
Gig economy.
Gig economy.
Pay them a living wage.
Pay the soldiers.
Pay the
Yes.
soldiers a living wage, and then they wouldn't be tempted to act like animals. Now, Charles VII had to make massive sacrifices in order to do this. He had to sell off so many jewels that were just sitting there.
So many
And those
jewels.
jewels were sitting there.
Yeah, they were sitting there, and he had to sell them.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, Charles VII doesn't have all these jewels
Jewels
to look
to look
at
at.
He
anymore.
used to have those jewels,
Yeah.
and now think about it. Now they're someplace else.
Now they're getting paid to a soldier so he won't murder your peasant population. And what's the use of that? You can't see that.
No,
you
yeah,
can't
yeah,
show
yeah.
that to your friends and say, look at that thing.
Also, if they really wanted to pillage the peasant class, it's called taxation.
They already were doing it.
Now, Gilles de Rais also contributed to the soldiers' pay, perhaps hoping to gain the approval and acceptance of the person to whom he'd been growing closer to since the ride to Orleans began. This, however, might have just been Gilles the sociopath going with the flow to ingratiate himself with someone of obvious power and prestige. But as word spread that the French army was actually paying its soldiers, morale spread amongst the countryside because they were no longer terrified of being raped and murdered by the military.
Yeah, I bet you it eases up dinner time sometimes.
Yeah, suddenly the people even had a kind of positive attitude
Whoa.
towards France.
Kind of positive attitude towards France. That's as good as it's going to get.
I mean, we're on it. As long as they're slightly in the plus category.
yeah.
Additionally, people who had a problem with the whole raping and pillaging aspect of soldiering, they were now joining the army.
Yeah, now they're getting the pussies.
That meant that their rank and file were no longer made up exclusively of monsters.
Because that was the thing, is that Gilles de Rais, like we'll cover, when he showed up, he's a very dangerous human being.
Sounds
and
like it.
His people were very, very dangerous. They were
Yeah.
very fucked up.
Yeah, if they're following him, it seems like they might be.
Yeah.
And so, with a stronger army, higher morale, and Gilles de Rais at her side, Joan of Arc set off for Orleans to free the city from the hated English. Joan, of course, famously didn't last long after that. And once Joan was out of the picture, the true horrors of Gilles de Rais began, which is what we'll get to in full on the next episode. The last podcast on the left.
Hope you like neck fucking.
I don't like it. I mean, Marcus alluded to what he liked to do with the cadavers.
Oh,
there.
yeah. We'll get it. Next week is going to be a full-on, like, Elizabeth Bathory style cavalcade of horrors that were inside his many, many castles. But don't worry. Eventually, we'll get to theater.
Nice. Well, speaking of
black magic.
Yes.
Cavalcade of Horrors, that could be a good name for our next tour.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
That's good.
Cavalcade.
Or, again, we're bringing Sexy Flax. Those are my two
let's
options
just
so
let
far.
that sit in the workshop right
We're
now.
gonna
It's
let-
we're workshopping.
It's in the lab.
Yeah, it's in the lab, bringing sexy flax. It's in the, what's the
If
what
I
is-
go to that fucking lab and there's a second me growing to replace me, I'm going to be very, very pissed.
Yeah.
Well, this one we got to make sure it doesn't have that high blood pressure.
That was our mistake.
Yeah.
We baked him in sugar water.
No.
Thank you all so much for listening. April 8th, you can see Henry and I. We're going to have a good time. Do a little live
GetItMade.la/disaster makeup and check out Side Stories Live.
Yeah.
And as Marcus said, check out our stream. It's every Tuesday now. And so go to our Patreon. I think you guys will like it.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to be at WonderCon next weekend. That would be March 24th and 25th, I believe.
think so. Sounds right to me.
Yeah, and we're going to be signing books on Friday for Z2 Comics, and we're going to be doing a panel and signing on Saturday. So come on out if you're in the Anaheim area, if you're in the Los Angeles County area. Come on out. If you're in San Diego, come on out.
Come on out, man. We're going to have a good time.
If you're in Bakersfield, drive on down. If you're in Needles, drive on over.
If you're in Tijuana, drive on north.
Absolutely. And if you're in Needles, I don't know what happens there.
Yeah.
Needles is the scariest sounding town
It is.
name I've
Needles,
ever heard.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Needles.
what's crazy is the spoon museum there is fantastic.
Absolutely. Needle in the spoon, the damage done. Thank you all so much
I
for
couldn't
listening.
figure out what was the
Yeah,
opposite
no.
of needle. I'm tired.
But you did Ben did say needle in the spoon. That's what
That's
you
heroin.
were talking about. That's what
Needle
your brain
in-
was saying. Needle in the
It's
spoon.
Neil Young.
So yeah,
Cool.
It's just going
in
to
a
work.
lab.
I guess I
In a
am.
lab.
Yep. What can you do? Science made me. God hates me for it.
Hail yourselves.
Hail Satan.
Again.
I'd say thank you to the goop that made me. And I want to say thank you to the Weapon X program for that has made me, because it's, again, we wouldn't be here without me.
We wouldn't be. In Canada? That's where they made Wolverine.
I'm Canadian. This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.
Nature can hide dark secrets. It's my job to unearth them. My name is Anna Pigeon.
This Friday,
I'm a law enforcement ranger. I need you to put your hands on the ground.
don't miss USA's newest drama series
If you even touch one hair on the park's head, I'll stop you.
based on the best-selling books. For Anna, solving crime is second nature.
I'm not letting them get away with this.
Why do you care so much, Anna?
Someone has to.
Anna Pigeon premieres this Friday at 10 on USA Network.
Courage. I learned it from my adoptive mom. Hold my hand.
You hold my hand.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.